From elusive predators and prey to paranormal Bigfoot sightings, we capture it all on camera and bring it straight to your screen. So, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Bigfoot or no? An outdoorsman by the name of Roger Williams captured a photo of a Sasquatch in broad daylight while hiking in the mountains of Southwest Virginia back in 2013. The creature he saw was described as being over 8 feet tall, covered in matted brown fur. Even though the back of the creature was captured in the shot, the image still clearly shows a humanoid figure with long arms, broad shoulders, and a head that seems to be covered in fur. Was it really a Bigfoot, or just a bear wandering around? Either way, the odd photo was sent to the local papers immediately. The image instantly gained popularity among cryptozoologists and was compared to the well-known Jacobs photographs, which were taken in northwest Pennsylvania in 2007. Williams also told the Finding Bigfoot crew that one of his neighbors had heard unusual noises just a few miles from the location of the shot. Later, Williams himself acknowledged this when he first released the image, saying, "The mystery remains."
Slender Man. In 2018, two friends and a little girl were traveling across states when they bumped into an abnormality, tall and suspicious-looking man referred to as the Slender Man. The Slender Man appeared in the middle of them, making the driver turn off-road and into the grass before stopping. Seconds later, the camera blacked out and started recording once again, showing the Slender Man walking in the woods with the little girl. One of the two friends went missing, while the other was able to find the little girl with a note left behind probably by the Slender Man. Till date, authorities haven't been able to figure out who or where this tall being came from. Creepy cryptid encounter. Is this a bird of some kind or just a horribly looking rodent? While out for an adventure, a tourist encountered a creepy looking animal that was hiding behind a dried up tree trunk in the Appalachian Mountains of North America. Its face looked as if it were deformed with something like a beak on the face. The intentions of this animal were unclear, as it never moved much besides keeping the eyes locked onto the recorder. With the behavior as such, the tourist described it to be an unrecognizable animal that was later pronounced to be a cryptid.
Mountain Giant. A man hiking up a mountain when he stumbled upon an extraordinary sight. A giant doing push-ups on the mountaintop. Was it a real giant, a Bigfoot, or a clever CGI trick? The jury's still out on this one. This surreal encounter left the man questioning reality itself. The sight of the colossal figure performing push-ups on a remote mountaintop seemed too extraordinary to believe. The enigmatic bush encounter. During a moonless night, two daring adventurers found themselves venturing deep into the heart of darkness. Soon they stumbled upon an eerie spectacle hidden amidst the bushes. Glowing eyes pierced through the darkness, casting a spooky glow. As they held their breaths, an unsettling feeling washed over them. But that was only the beginning, for soon after, something mysterious emerged from behind the foliage. Glooms seemed to dance in the gloom, and their hearts raced as they tried to decipher the mystery that lay before them.
Creepy shaking tree. In a remote forest, a drone captured a tree shaking violently, as though a Bigfoot decided to get its groove on. The bizarre scene was awe-inspiring, but as they replayed it, skepticism began to set in. It really seems like a legendary creature dancing. Or maybe it's just nature's playful tricks. People have been trying to find the answers to this phenomenon. Have you ever witnessed such an eerie sight before? What could possibly be the cause of the unsettling tree dance? Wolf-chewed trail cam. In the wild, even trail cams can become a predator's chew toy. One unfortunate camera faced the powerful jaws of a wild wolf, but miraculously survived the gnawing. The furry culprit left the camera behind, chomping it like a chew toy. The incident captured on camera offered a glimpse into the fierce survival instincts of the animal kingdom. Mystifying Mothman. In the West Virginian town of Point Pleasant, a chilling legend was born: the Mothman. With wings and glowing red eyes, this mysterious being captivated the imaginations of those who claimed to have seen it. The tales of Mothman sightings spread like wildfire, leaving people both fascinated and terrified. Though evidence was mixed with hoaxes, the truth remained mysterious, leaving the existence of this cryptid open to interpretation. Albino deer paradise! Welcome to the secret world of Seneca white deer. These stunning all-white deer have found a real-life fortress to call home. On a U.S. Army base in New York, they're protected like true royalty. Imagine being a deer and living in a place with no predators and 10,000 acres to roam. It's like a never-ending buffet of safety and freedom. These rare beauties have flourished for over 6 decades, and the Army's got their backs. So, no venison on the menu here, folks. Just a haven for these magnificent white-tailed deer to frolic and rule the woodland in style. Elusive goblins. Deep in the woods, there lies a realm where goblins roam free. These mischievous little buggers have been haunting us since the Middle Ages, and no one knows where they came from. Europe to Zimbabwe, they've spread their spooky tales far and wide. But have you ever wondered if they're more than just fairy tales? That park ranger's trail camera might have just caught a real goblin on tape. Is this just the beginning of a whole army of goblins lurking out there? Beware, the line between myth and reality may be thinner than you think. The Bear Mirror Showdown. Next up, it's bear versus mirror. Our fierce black bear had a surprise encounter with a mirror left in the woods. He approached it cautiously, sniffing and trying to figure out who that handsome fellow was. But you know what? Bears can be pretty self-conscious too. He didn't know what to make of his reflection. But hey, at least he didn't throw a wild tantrum. We're just glad he found his cool and walked away. Or else the mirror might have had a real tough time.
Mysterious highway encounter. Imagine cruising along a busy highway, minding your own business, when something bizarre unfolds before your eyes. A driver's camera captures an unexpected scene that leaves them utterly bewildered. As they round a curve, a van approaches from the opposite direction. Watch closely as a man suddenly materializes on the road, seemingly falling from an unknown location. The vehicle's doors never open, ruling out the possibility of him falling from it. Speculations run wild. Did a portal appear, transporting him onto the road? Or does he possess extraordinary powers? Without knowing the man's identity or the full story, we're left pondering the unexplainable. A weird encounter in Washington, D.C. This curious incident in Washington, D.C. on December 19, 2018 has left many pondering the possibility of an extraterrestrial encounter. The footage starts with various clips showing the evening sky around the city. What caught everyone's attention was a peculiar triangle-shaped object hovering over the Pentagon. Although some angles made it hard to see, the enigmatic presence was undeniable.
Eagle and fox. Normally, eagles target smaller animals, but today is a different story, as a gigantic eagle soars in an attempt to catch this evading mammal. The fox is attempting to flee, but the eagles are simply too swift and strong. In the end, the eagle triumphs, serving as a stark reminder of the animal kingdom's ruthlessness and the principle of survival of the fittest.
Blood-curdling scream. Once a group of friends set off on a camping expedition, seeking adventure and bonding amidst the wilderness. They pitched their tents in the heart of an isolated forest, a perfect retreat for a night of fun. Little did they know that their escapade would soon spiral into a spine-chilling nightmare. As darkness fell, blood-curdling screams pierced the stillness of the night. Frightened, they grabbed their flashlights and ventured out to unravel the source of terror. Yet, no visible explanation awaited them. Instead, they stumbled upon a grotesque sight: a crude corn husk doll ominously hanging from a rope. The nightmare screams continued, and the eerie presence sent shivers down their spines. I hope they got out of there fast.
Oh, no.
Aggressive Yeti. 6 years ago, the residents of a North American town woke up to an unbelievable sight that sent chills down their spines. The ground was covered in a pristine layer of white snow. But what caught everyone's attention were the unusual, mysterious footprints measuring 4 to 6 feet in length. A team of intrepid Sasquatch hunters ventured into the woods to investigate further. And what they encountered was beyond their wildest imagination. Amidst the trees stood a colossal hairy creature clutching torn camp pieces. It appeared to be an aggressive Yeti, but the shocking encounter ended abruptly, leaving the truth buried in the snow. Dog chased hairy beast. Several years back, a man decided to capture wildlife moments using a camera mounted on his dog's collar. While exploring the lush habitat of wild critters, the curious dog unwittingly filmed an extraordinary sight. A massive hairy creature emerged from the woods, passing right in front of the camera. Some thought it could be a bear, but this beast had an uncanny resemblance to the mythical Bigfoot. The mystery deepens. Could it be the mysterious Bigfoot or another furry enigma wandering in the woods? UFO floating light. Now, beware the eerie sight that haunted the Mississippi couple. A mysterious UFO, a glowing light from beyond. Their trail cameras captured the spooky moment it appeared, casting an otherworldly glow on a startled deer. They wondered if it was a government drone or something more uncanny. Seeking answers, they turned to friends, but the truth remained vague. The mysterious light left them both fascinated and afraid. Was it aliens or a mere coincidence? The truth will never be known, and the mystifying memory of the hovering light lingers, a spooky tale that chills the spine. Buck sheds its antler. Now, discover the spine-chilling moment an 8-point buck sheds its antlers, caught on camera in the dim forests of Northfield, Vermont. This rare footage captures the mysterious annual occurrence rarely seen by human eyes. Witness the deer grazing amidst the falling apples from a nearby tree before the mysterious shedding begins. As the antlers drop, an eerie sense of transformation engulfs the scene that will leave you in awe. Nature's puzzling ways never cease to astonish, and this hauntingly beautiful event proves that even in the shadows, secrets are waiting to be unveiled. Three-eyed creature. Deep in the woods of Finland, two brave adventurers placed a trail camera, hoping to capture the secrets of the night. Little did they know they'd stumble upon an unsolvable mystery. The camera disappeared overnight, only to be found later in a backyard. And what it captured? A spine-tingling image of a creature with 3 glowing eyes lurking in the shadows. Even Finnish wildlife experts were stumped. What could this unknown apparition be? Join the online frenzy as everyone debates theories on this eerie, spooky enigma hiding in the bushes. Sometimes the trail camera reveals secrets that even the bravest dare not fathom. Scratching and dancing. In the wilds of Prince George, a trail cam caught something extraordinary. A bear dancing! Not in a terrifying way, mind you, but hilariously wobbling up and down a tree to scratch an itch. Mike Costi, the lucky witness, has seen plenty of funny bear antics on his 45-acre property. This bear, not interested in chasing prey, refused to dance to his own rhythm. Bears use trees as personal scratching posts, which gives them a playful and mischievous edge. Remember, if you spot bear scratches in the woods, they might just be dancing the night away instead of seeking a frightful encounter.
A river monster. At first, people watching it thought it was an alligator or something, but then they saw it move in the strangest way possible. It was moving only with the help of its strong tail. Also, its front legs were missing. Was it just an alligator with its front legs missing? Or is it some type of evolving river monster which will wash out the whole human race? What do you guys think? A yak. This man was out mountain biking when this happened. He came across a very, very angry yak. Even though the yak couldn't do much harm, he did try charging at them.
Dangerous here. Oh, you get back.
And ask me, and I would say that was one terrifying yak, don't you agree? A creepy thing. This man happened to capture a creepy alien-like creature on camera. He was continuously hearing noises from the back, and he had to go check. And that's how he came across this. Was it an alien or just something fake? I guess we'll never know. But if it was true, I say we all hide in our homes, because who knows what other weirdness is lurking out there. Someone in the window. This man had some previous encounters with the supernatural, thus he wanted camera installed everywhere, even in his bedroom. And one night, when he was sleeping peacefully, he sensed someone was watching him through the window. He got up ASAP and turned the lights on, and that's when we see the ghostly figure in the window. It looked like it was waving, maybe? Seriously, how creepy is that?
The weirdest abduction. Philip Spencer, a former police officer, was traveling across the meadow to his father-in-law's house on the morning of the 1st of December, 1987. In an effort to get a few pictures of the sunlight at sunrise, he had brought a camera with him. In reality, the pictures he took on that particular day would eventually be published in international media. Spencer claimed that while using a compass to find his way through the fog, he came across a weird-looking figure. He immediately snapped a picture of the monster before following it and claiming to have seen a dome-topped UFO emerge from the ground and vanish into the sky. Although Spencer claimed that he believed the entire incident only lasted a few minutes, several UFO experts believed that he had actually been the target of an alien kidnapping, because once he arrived at his destination, the village clock was 1 hour ahead of his time. The images Spencer captured, despite being a little blurry, looked like it showed a 4-foot-tall, dark green alien being with a huge head and thin, long arms. Spencer took the creature's movement to be a warning to keep away, but he nevertheless pulled out his camera and snapped a photo of it. The photographs were analyzed, and it was determined that the figure was not displayed and showed no similarity with any native wildlife. The sighting has been brushed off as a hoax by skeptics, who claim that the picture actually represents another object, like a human being, or perhaps a cardboard cutout. The screams. In Texas, a local named Dan Robb was recording the intense thunderstorm that was raging outside his window. Suddenly, he heard a sound that chilled him to the bone.
There's a sound screaming, it's like
a series of blood-curdling screams that sounded like they were coming from the depths of hell itself. Dan was terrified. What on earth could be making those sounds? He posted the video to social media, hoping that someone would be able to help him identify the source of the screams. Many people were quick to offer their theories. Some thought it might be a wild animal like a mountain lion or a coyote, while others speculated that it might be something supernatural. In fact, the screaming sound Dan Robb recorded during the thunderstorm in Texas caused quite a stir among locals, with many speculating that it might be the legendary creature known as the Thunderbird. For those who aren't familiar, the Thunderbird is a mythical bird from Native American folklore. It is said to be a huge bird with a wingspan that can reach up to 20 feet or more. The bird is named after the thunder sound that is said to be produced by the flapping of its massive wings. According to legend, the Thunderbird is a powerful and majestic creature that has the ability to summon thunder and lightning with its wings. It is also believed to have healing powers and is revered as a spiritual symbol by many Native American tribes. But the truth turned out to be even stranger than anyone could have imagined. It was eventually revealed that the source of the screams was actually a valve being released at the Global Health Research Complex nearby. The sound was created when pressure was released from a cylinder, and the noise was amplified by the storm. Dan was relieved to finally have an explanation for the terrifying sounds he had heard. But the incident sparked a debate online about the mysterious and sometimes creepy noises that could be heard during thunderstorms. It just goes to show that even the most seemingly ordinary things can sometimes be more unsettling than we realize.
Catching birds for dinner. A simple fact that gorillas are not known to hunt birds is enough to say that this isn't something normal. A video recorded in March 2016 by a fisherman who was returning from a catch shows a huge furry animal on top of a pole. This furry animal was attempting to catch seagulls flying nearby. Upon capturing one of them, it started bashing the seagull aggressively on the pole, presenting its incredible strength, and started eating minutes later. As it was able to climb tall, narrow poles easily, many speculated that it could be a gorilla, but honestly, it seems like a really hungry Bigfoot. Groot-like creature. If Groot has an evil twin, this probably has to be it. A Virginia family of 3 went out for trekking in the nearby forest where they noticed a tall, dark man-like tree that also happened to be staring at them. The parents commented that they felt like being followed by an unknown stalker hours after entering the forest. Coincidentally, they happened to notice the same tree, despite moving for several hours, which raised their suspicion. Interestingly, the tree creature didn't seem to have any footsteps left behind and remained stationary until it was seen moving slowly. Could it be that a tree somehow came to life, or is it an outer Earth visitor?
Ghost dog. The strangest part of all of this is that the backyard is completely secured with an 8-foot-high fence, so there is no way any other dog could get inside when a person caught it on camera. He sprinted out to the backyard to investigate, but the mysterious white dog had disappeared. An Australian father of 2 was horrified when he saw his security footage capturing what appeared to be a ghostly dog running around with his pet dog, Ryder. Without a trace, despite his best efforts to unravel the mystery of the ghost encounter, he was clearly shaken by the eerie footage, since he couldn't explain how the dog got into his well-protected backyard. Strange, skinny creature. This man managed to capture a unique species of creature on camera. He heard weird noises outside his house one night, so he decided to check into the bush that surrounds it with his torch and camera. What he saw shocked him, and definitely is going to shock you too. The man is spooked by an odd alien thing, as you can see in the video. The alien then turns around and appears to vanish into the undergrowth, never to be seen again. What do you guys think? This video is undoubtedly incredibly upsetting, and it appears to be a very clear sighting of an extraterrestrial.
A monster in the dark. Now, you might find this one a little blurry, but that does not make the creature this man happened to capture any less terrifying. At first, he thought it was a very large buck or something, but things got creepy when it started moving and coming closer. It looked more like a human, but a huge one. A huge black cat. In this video, which went viral, a Mississippi man named David Sluter captured footage of what appeared to be a massive black cat walking through a field. After initially thinking it was a deer or coyote, he realized it was some type of cat and started filming. David was over 100 yards away, but from the cat's tail, he could tell it was massive. Some experts have dismissed the cat as an overgrown house cat, while others believe it's a more dangerous mountain lion. Regardless, everyone is currently on the lookout for the mysterious feline. Weird creature. In January 2013, a man reviewing footage from a trail camera left in the woods for several days made a disturbing discovery. He described the figure captured in the footage as an alien, although others speculate it may be a ghost or an unidentified creature. Initially, the figure appeared to be a distorted bush or an animal, but upon closer inspection, its unnaturally smooth movements and direct stare at the camera indicated that it was something abnormal. The figure resembled a woman, but with disproportionately large, flashing eyes and flowing hair.
This is how an odd situation plays out in a comfortable living room. The first 2 dogs in the picture are the focus of the owner's camera, as they create a calm atmosphere in the space with their calm presence. But we are not prepared for what comes to life on the next screen. The camera moves to the 3rd dog, and everyone becomes curious. She has no idea she is about to record the most unsettling video ever seen. This dog, though initially calm, knows that something is wrong.
Looking at something strange down a dark hallway next to their living room.
Its ears go up, and its eyes quickly look at the door, focusing on something that others can't see. A quiet nervousness spreads through the room. Something is off, but what is it? The dog's ferocious reaction is caught on camera as the dog howls loudly against the walls. What is that in the dimly lit corner? It looks like a dark shadow is peeking out of the door. The owner tries to calm the dog down, but is unsuccessful because of the rapid change in behavior. The shadowy figure stands still at the door, unmoved in the face of the dog's cry for help. The tension in the room reaches a crescendo, the once peaceful scene now engulfed in a whirlwind of unease and uncertainty. Although the dog remains quiet, its body language speaks volumes. Its stance radiates readiness, conveying an unspoken warning to those nearby. At this moment, the room becomes charged with unusual energy, pregnant with anticipation of what may come next. Everyone is clearly frightened and unsettled. The dog is alert but won't bark. I wonder why. Could be because he was too terrified to engage, or he knew the person lurking. The dog sensed a certain familiarity and did not bark at the gray shadow. Finally, as abruptly as it appeared, the figure retreats into the shadows, leaving the room in an uneasy stillness. People in the comments confirm that the video was genuine, and trust me, I never saw that coming. The video with the woman and her dogs is legit. If I remember correctly, she ended up moving out of that house not too long after seeing that thing. Apparently, the woman moved out of the house shortly after this creepy sight. Well, as the camera captures this extraordinary display of canine intuition, it becomes clear that there is more to the world than meets the eye. The worst part is that the clip ends abruptly, leaving everyone in apprehension. No wonder she left that home. I know I would have done the same too. But this next scene is straight out of a vintage horror flick.
Wandering squirrel. Changing the tone a bit to a more intriguing trail cam capture. This trail camera captured a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. As you can see, a squirrel is perusing the woodland floor, likely in search of something to eat, when unexpectedly, a hawk soars straight for a squirrel. Just in time, the squirrel discerns what is happening. The hawk sees what's going on, avoids the attack, and manages to flee unharmed. The hawk then crashes into a tree. It is still unknown where the squirrel is today, but we're confident that it is fine. And as for that hawk, well, he also flies away relatively unharmed. Trash panda versus iguana. This Florida shot video depicts a raccoon attempting to corner an iguana. Raccoons consume a variety of items, including some tiny lizards and snakes. They are omnivorous and opportunistic feeders. But this person is using all of his opposable thumbs right now. That iguana is large. The eggs and young of other local creatures might suffer greatly at the hands of this variety of iguana, which is an invasive species not native to Florida. The owner claims that the iguana merely carried on taking the sunbath next to the pool, despite the raccoon's attempts to restrain it. Since an iguana and a raccoon are loitering in the owner's backyard during the day, I'd argue that the owner has a bigger problem on his hands. Though he may need to call someone to deal with these two, it did make for a bizarre thing to capture on film.
Flying humanoid. If the furry humanoids weren't spooky enough, you now have one that can fly. Two young boys, while playing in the backyard of a farm in Kent, United Kingdom, noticed a weird-looking hive. With their father filming the video, they got closer to the hive when a flying bug came out of the hive. At first, it was thought to be a firefly or a dragonfly, but seconds later they could notice that this bug is humanoid. From arms to legs, it had a body structure completely similar to that of a human with wings to fly. As it came flying out, the father and the kids reacted by fleeing away. Since the footage has gone viral, many call it a real-life fairy. forest zombie. This looks to be either a zombie or a clown, or perhaps both. After numerous reports of something haunting a small part of a forest in Ontario, Canada, paranormal investigators decided to investigate. After several hours of searching, they weren't able to find any ghosts, but rather a zombified being that was stalking them from a distance. Upon one of the paranormal investigators spotting this haunting figure, it quickly escaped behind the tree and into the darkness. It had sparkly eyes, clown-like makeup, sharp reflexes, and not to mention huge in size. Imagine the horror of such a nightmare ambushing.
Monkeys. At the beginning of the video, you see a group of them wandering up to a trail camera, and they're clearly very curious. One brave monkey even gets right up in front of the camera to get a closer look. After a little while, they start to play with each other, climbing and jumping around, but then suddenly they all scatter out of view. It turns out they weren't just playing, they were trying to steal the camera. We can see someone's trying to move the camera. These monkeys are definitely up to no good. The glowing jellyfish. Have you seen the latest video from the deep under the sea? It's mind-blowing. It features a species of comb jelly that appears to be glowing with multiple colored lights. The video captures a rainbow light show that's simply mesmerizing. But how is this even possible, you ask? Well, it turns out that the comb jelly uses its cilia, the tiny hair-like structures on its body, to create this magical display. As the cilia move, they scatter light in different directions, creating a stunning display of colors.
The walking umbrella. One misty evening, the backyard transforms into an otherworldly stage as an ordinary umbrella comes to life. Strangely, it seems to walk on its own, giving an eerie impression of ghostly intervention. As the camera pans out, a mysterious figure emerges, seemingly controlling the umbrella's unsettling dance. But who is this enigmatic person, and what lies behind this bizarre spectacle? Pepper spray incident. In the midst of a thrilling hiking adventure, two friends had faced a perilous encounter with an aggressive Yeti. This formidable creature had inspected their belongings, but an accidental pepper spray attack had left it in a panic. A close encounter with the Yeti was no laughing matter, but luckily they had escaped unharmed. The tale of cryptid confrontations and mysterious wild beings lurking in the shadows had kept them on edge, even after the adrenaline had subsided.
Spooky encounter in the cave. A group of adventurous souls ventured into a mysterious cave, camera rolling to document their epic journey. Little did they know that their chilling encounter awaited. As they explored the dark caverns, they spotted a black figure crouched nearby. Was it a friend or foe? They quickly realized this wasn't just some furry friend, but a hairy creature with intentions far from friendly. Yeek! It was like a scene from a hair-raising horror flick. They hightailed it out of there, but the haunting encounter left them with more questions than answers. What did they stumble upon in those murky depths?
Large being hiding behind a tree. Yowie researcher Dean Harrison and his Australian team put infrared cameras to the test in Springbrook National Park in May 2021. Later that evening, they get this enigmatic clip. Thermography appears to show a big, solitary being sheltering behind a tree trunk. A few minutes later, what appears to be two creatures bend over to pick up something. If you look at their heads, they don't resemble humans. Additionally, the researchers claimed that no human would ever be at this location at this time of day, let alone at night. Bigfoot researchers are confident that everything here fits with what is known to be true. Even when the settlers arrived in the late 1700s, their continued use in storytelling and cave drawings show that they had existed since the time of the Aboriginal people. They had their own encounters with the Yowie. A huge black bear. After a child kept informing his father that he was seeing a bear next door, a trail camera captured this really humorous moment. Evidently not believing him, the father decided to set up one of his old trail cameras. As we can see, this enormous bear has established a home in the crawl area of an abandoned house. This big man is out and about and having a good time. Black bears can be nasty animals though, and can be rather aggressive.
The Georgia Screamer. It's now time to meet the Georgia Screamer, a creature that will send shivers down your spine. True, it may be an actor in a unitard, but that doesn't mean we can't get a good scare from it. The sounds it makes are straight out of a horror movie, like those clickers from The Last of Us.
Run, run!
Even the bravest among us wouldn't dare mess with such a terrifying sight. Will we ever know what this nightmare-inducing creature really is? Perhaps not, but one thing's for sure, this video's a hit. Mysterious Bigfoot Encounter. You've probably heard tales of Bigfoot, the legendary ape-like creature rumored to roam North America's forests. Since the 19th century, people have shared countless stories and sightings, though concrete evidence remains elusive. However, one trail cam might have finally captured the elusive beast, as the camera recorded a serene, snowy scene. An ape-like figure emerged, unaware of being watched. The grainy footage showed the mysterious creature walking before vanishing into the forest. Could this be real proof of Bigfoot's existence? The debate continues, and this eerie footage adds to the enigma of the elusive.
A creature on the Appalachian Trail. An adventurous nature enthusiast ventures on a hike along the scenic Appalachian Trail, nestled in the beautiful Appalachian mountain region of North America. During the lush wilderness and diverse wildlife, an unexpected encounter leaves him bewildered. His eyes lock on a strange animal observing him from a distance. As he ventures closer, he's taken back by its appearance, an uncanny blend of a seal and a bird. The creature's beaks resemble those of a woodpecker, and its eyes hollow and black. Add to the intrigue. Eager to share the mysterious discovery, the video's uploaded onto the internet, sparking curiosity far and wide. Yet, the puzzle remains unsolved.
Ghost bird. Imagine mistaking a ghost bird for an innocent piece of wood. Talk about a spooky surprise. This grumpy-looking creature is the great potu, a nocturnal bird known for its eerie camouflaging skills. From Mexico to Brazil, these skeletal birds give you the creeps. But don't worry, they're mostly harmless, living peacefully in their woodland domain. So, next time you spot an odd-looking bird, don't jump to conclusions. It might just be a ghost bird watching over its spooky kingdom. Abandoned car forest. In the heart of a Belgian forest lies an automotive graveyard that puts horror movies to shame. Can you picture cars entangled with tree roots, neon-colored flowers blossoming from engines? It's like a post-apocalyptic scene straight out of Hollywood. But fear not, this eerie spectacle is a testament to nature's power, slowly reclaiming the man-made creations. While some locals find the cars a charming oddity, others are spooked by the never-ending flow of curious tourists. Drive through Google Maps and you'll see it's a sight that'll leave you questioning reality. Tap dancing chimps. Our jungle buddies, the chimpanzees, are turning into tap dancing superstars. Thanks to some clever scientists and a mirror, we've discovered their secret love for dancing. Some chimps are all about grooving to their reflection, showing off their moves like a true dance troupe. But here's the kicker. Not all chimps are dance fans. Some see their reflection as invading rivals. Can't blame them. Mirrors aren't a standard jungle accessory after all. So let's give it up for our dancing chimps. They're taking rhythm to a whole new level. Astonishing supernatural photo. Captured by an intrepid explorer, the image portrays a being so alien-like it defies all human characteristics. The camera was miles away from civilization, ruling out any possibility of a hoax. Determined to unravel the truth, the explorer conducted a meticulous analysis, using advanced software to compare the mysterious entity to a human. The result? A resounding confirmation that this was no ordinary being. Even a trusted forensic image analyst with cutting-edge tools examined the photo, concluding it was untouched and absolutely real. Is it an extraterrestrial, a goblin, or even a Sasquatch? Alligator strolling. This trail camera captures an alligator casually strolling through the heart of a forest. While these reptiles are typically found in swamps and water bodies, this confident alligator seems to have ventured far from its natural habitat, moving with a clear sense of purpose. The footage reveals its agile movement over fallen branches, leaving viewers wondering what motivated this extraordinary journey. A green-furred snake. Today, you're gonna witness a snake like no other. Shared on the Facebook group Weird, Fantastic, and Odd Things by user Max Jack, this mind-boggling footage showcases a snake covered in eerie green fur, leaving us all baffled and slightly creeped out. Residing in Thailand, Max Jack came across this enigmatic serpent and decided to care for it, sparking curiosity and speculation across the internet. Some suggest it could be a bizarre form of algae coating its skin, but the mystery remains unsolved. Max Jack's decision to hand it over to authorities for study and identification will surely unveil more about this cryptic creature. You must have heard the saying, the unexplained lurks in the shadows. It's true when it comes to trail cam captures. Today we journey into the eerie realm of trail cam footage, revealing spine-chilling encounters. Whether you're a fearless cryptozoologist, seasoned hunter, or a trail lover, prepare for a proper scary dose of clips I found on the internet. The terrifying trail cam girl. At the dead of night on October 15, 2015, a trail camera captured a spine-chilling scene in the woods. The footage revealed a young girl all alone, wandering through the darkness, clutching a teddy bear tightly in her arms. What on earth was she doing there? The eerie sight left many unsettled. Was she sleepwalking, or perhaps something more supernatural was afoot? The question still remains. Maybe it was a ghostly presence in the woods, haunting the minds of those who watched the haunting footage. Hairy Beast Midnight Ambush. In the pitch-black darkness of midnight, a pair of hunters found themselves facing an unimaginable terror. As they tried to chase down a mysterious beast in its own dark habitat, they became the hunted. Suddenly, the massive creature struck, attacking one of the hunters from behind. Later, when the other hunter ventured out in search of his missing companion, the beast struck again, this time pouncing from the front. Despite the deadly encounters, both hunters survived, shaken and puzzled. The online footage of this eerie incident left everyone baffled. The truth behind this cryptic encounter remained hidden in the shadows. Lion's GoPro heist. Not just trail cams, even GoPros can become intriguing targets for wildlife. A curious lioness couldn't resist investigating a GoPro mounted at the back of a Jeep. With a swift grab, she carried it away in her powerful jaws, hoping to make a quick escape. The stolen camera provided a close-up view of her jaws as she chewed on the device, leaving everyone in awe of the unexpected interaction.
The subscriber's pick. This image is taken from a video that went viral a few years back. At first, we see a car driving on a dark road, and out of nowhere, a bunch of guys dressed like Charlie Chaplin pop up. It's super eerie how they all stop and stare into the car, especially with that weird lighting in the background. And there's even a dude wearing a mask to make things even creepier. A scary shark encounter. This might be the closest close call with a white shark you'll be seeing here. The man with his friends was out diving, but seconds after he dived into the water, his friends started shouting, "Shark! Shark!" to him.
Shark! Shark!
He went under the water to see what it was, and there the white shark was swimming right beneath him. He tried swimming away as fast as he could, while continuously looking for the shark, and there it came again. This time straight towards the man, but somehow he actually made the shark turn the other way. Good thing it happened and the man came out of the water safely.
What is that? Oh my God! What is that? Where's the zoom on this?
Man vanished. This Ring camera recorded a man walking on the street at night, but just after a few seconds, he appeared to have vanished in thin air. It was in the middle of the camera's view, so we cannot say that he may have walked to the edge of the view. Now, how did this happen and who exactly was the man? This answer remained unknown, as the woman whose camera recorded it said she had never seen him before. Fish crossing road. A year ago, people in Washington saw this weird phenomena happening. A number of fishes were seen crossing the road. Just like you and me, they were all so shocked to see how these salmon fishes were showing this unusual behavior. However, this scenario is the result of the river flooding. What you're seeing are salmon going from a field that they've been washed into, back across the road to get back into the river to continue their journey. This doesn't happen very often, but when it does, some salmon that get washed out do this to make it back. Piranha. Piranhas are notorious for their sharp teeth and aggressive reputation. I mean, who hasn't seen those crazy movies where they go on a feeding frenzy and chomp through everything in sight? But the truth is, these fish are usually pretty chill, unless they feel threatened. Sure, they might look like they're straight out of a horror movie, but if you don't mess with them, they won't mess with you. That being said, it's still pretty nerve-wracking to swim in water where they live. I don't know about you, but I'll stick to the pool, thank you very much. Anaconda. This slithering serpent is one of the largest and most powerful snakes in the world, capable of crushing its prey with its deadly constriction abilities. And when I say large, I mean large. These bad boys can grow up to 30 feet long. While they mostly stick to snacking on animals like deer and capybaras, they have been known to take down humans who dare to venture into their territory. So if you ever find yourself face to face with an anaconda, be sure to give it plenty of space, unless you want to end up as its next snack. Bull shark. Move over, great white, because this creature is the real danger to humans. With its sneaky ways, the bull shark is a master of deception and can strike at any moment. Unlike other sharks, this beast prefers the shallow freshwater areas where humans like to cool off. It lurks in the shadows, waiting for its next prey to come into view. And when it does, it strikes with a ferocity that is unmatched. So, the next time you venture into the murky waters, be on the lookout for the bull shark, for it is a creature of mystery and danger, lurking just beneath the surface, waiting for its next victim to cross its path. Saltwater crocodile. Alright folks, let's talk about one of the most rebel reptiles out there, the saltwater crocodile. This monster can grow up to a whopping 23 feet long and weigh over a ton. I mean, that's like having a car-sized croc swimming around in the water. And let's not forget those jaws. They're so strong they can literally crush bones and even metal. So if you're ever in the presence of a saltwater croc, just remember to keep your distance and give them the respect they deserve. Box jellyfish. Now let's talk about this deadliest but the prettiest creature ever. It is the box jellyfish. Now don't be fooled by its delicate and almost see-through appearance. This thing is a silent killer. Its venom is so potent that it can cause heart failure and kill you in just a few minutes. So if you're ever out there in the ocean and spot a box jellyfish, swim the other way as fast as you can. Trust me, you don't want to mess with this deadly beauty. Hammerhead shark. The hammerhead shark has a head that looks like it was flattened with a hammer. But don't let their strange appearance fool you. These sharks are top predators in the ocean. They can sense prey with incredible accuracy, and their powerful jaws make short work of their meals. While they're not known for attacking humans, it's probably best to give them a wide berth just in case. Hippopotamus. The African river holds many secrets, but perhaps the most dangerous one lurks just beneath the surface. Beware the hippopotamus, for they may appear docile, but they are anything but. With a single snap of their powerful jaws, they can shatter bones and end lives in an instant. These massive beasts are responsible for more human deaths in Africa than any other large animal. Yet they remain shrouded in mystery. How can something so seemingly gentle be so deadly? Perhaps it is their ancient lineage, tracing back to a time when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Or maybe it is simply their fierce determination to protect their territory at all costs. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: never underestimate the deadly nature of a hippopotamus.
a man or a bear? What do you think? Is this a man or a bear? By its stature, it looks like a bear. It is a strange creature with a black color, but as you investigate the details, you'll notice that it's holding a stick and wearing a cap. These signs make us believe that it is a human. The image sparks curiosity and speculation. A girl and 2 deer. Deep in the jungle unfolds a heart-wrenching scene. Just look at the scared girl standing close to 2 deer. One deer looks straight into the eyes of the girl with curiosity. It raises the question of what possible secret can these 2 share? Or maybe the deer are considering the girl to be prey. Meanwhile, the other deer locks eyes with the camera, as if acknowledging its presence, drawing us into the world.
During the month of February in the year 2013, certain individuals reported auditory sensations emanating from a proximate woodland area during the nocturnal hours. The individuals characterized the sound as boisterous expressions of mirth. The individual who perceived their conversation proceeded to venture outdoors and discreetly documented the entire occurrence utilizing their mobile device. The sounds of amusement were of an unsettling nature, possessing a volume that allowed for their reverberation to extend into the surrounding vicinity. The audible presence of laughter, characterized by its unsettling and intense nature, is readily discernible within the visual recording. A mysterious figure was seen on camera in Kentucky going down the street before suddenly disappearing into thin air. The footage was acquired by a camera. Similar incidents have previously occurred and have been documented through cameras. The individuals residing within the premises equipped with the monitoring devices, which successfully captured the aforementioned footage, have attested to encountering the odd individual on a prior occasion. The Chinese water deer are small animals that look like any other kind of deer. However, they have huge teeth that stick out of their mouths and look like tusks. Some people call them vampire deer as well. An octopus slap. In this clip, a group of friends are kayaking in the ocean when they encounter a surprising sight. A seal comes out of the water with an octopus in its mouth and slaps it onto the face of one of the kayakers. The friends are stunned and can be heard laughing in disbelief.
Underwater?
The seal quickly disappears back into the water, leaving the kayaker with an unexpected slimy surprise. The friends continue on their kayaking adventure, no doubt with a story to tell for years to come. This encounter shows the unexpected and playful nature of wildlife in its natural habitat. 3-legged deer. In the clip, a 3-legged deer is seen roaming through a forest or meadow. Despite its injury, the deer is still able to move and navigate with grace and ease. It is clear from the video that the deer has adapted well to life with 3 legs and is thriving in its natural habitat. The sight of this deer is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of wildlife in the face of adversity. The video captures the unique beauty and majesty of this creature, inspiring awe and wonder in viewers. Birds fell from sky. An eerie scene of hundreds of birds mysteriously plummeting to the ground was captured on tape in northern Mexico. The birds were part of a large flock of black birds with yellow heads that were migrating south. Despite some birds managing to recover from the fall, a significant number were unable to move. The exact cause of this mass death remains unknown, but a nearby zookeeper speculated that the birds may have been fleeing from a predator. Lots of beer. This CCTV footage from a beer factory is one for the books. A man on a forklift was going about his business when suddenly, disaster struck. With just one touch of a rack, the domino effect sets in, and huge stacks of beer come tumbling down, burying the man underneath. But here's the twist. He actually survives the beer avalanche. Talk about a close call and one lucky man. Looks like this is one job hazard they didn't prepare him for.
Cursed photographs. Imagine taking pictures while hiking through a thick forest only to find a haunted spirit peeking through your photographs. Scary, isn't it? A similar series of events happened with a couple when they were enjoying their hiking venture in the mountain forest, unaware of the presence of spooky spirits wandering around. Upon looking through their camera roll, they were astonished to spot a strange presence behind them. At first, it seemed like a bird, captured while taking its flight, but as they zoomed over, a wave of fear ran across their body, as there was a strange figure with a clear face peeking from the trees. A demonic presence, a satanic face trying to get in the frame of a happy couple-like curse. The couple ran checks over this footage. However, this case remained unresolved as the authorities were unable to locate any evidence regarding this strange encounter. Ominous nightmare. When your eyes suddenly open in the middle of the night, a normal person would usually encounter darkness and peaceful silence surrounding him, wouldn't he? But there are some people who would come across cursed creatures with their dreadful sight and voices haunting the surroundings if their eyes accidentally opened at a specific time, or you can say 3 a.m. In this video, a girl encounters a goat coming from behind the curtain. At first glance, it appears normal, but as the goat opens its mouth, waves of horrific sound reach the eardrums, making one hold his ear. The girl shifts her camera towards the clock, showing the dreadful time of the day, 3 a.m. In the meantime, the goat's shrieking voice, accompanied by the black tentacles coming out of its mouth and glowing eyes, can be seen clearly in the darkness of the night. This scene is truly terrifying for one sight, but the vlogger seems accustomed to this behavior of the goat and calmly closes the door on the goat, completely shutting it out of the room. The Creature of Romania. This peculiar video began with a man recording himself while talking about the unusual sighting that occurred in the Romanian zoo. The man emphasized that such a creature had never been sighted anywhere in the world. However, it is enchained here at the Romanian zoo constraints. After the initial warning, the man
A scary creature. This video was captured by a brave soul who thought it would be a really great idea to go out alone into the deep woods at night. He thought he'd end up meeting some unusual beings and, well, guess what? He got exactly what he was expecting. A creepy little cryptid staring right at him from behind the tree. Was it just waiting for the right moment to attack, or was it too scared to come out? The mystery has been unsolved since forever. Creepy trees. Considering the last clip, if you think the woods are only creepy and unsafe at night, let us tell you how wrong you are, and this video will prove it to you. These trees were recorded moving. Like literally moving from one place to another. Was it the neighborhood that annoyed them, or they felt unsafe due to humans? We could never know since trees don't talk. A cryptid. Now this one might be just an image taken by a trail cam and not a whole video, but this single image is enough for us to get an idea about how eerie and unbelievable life in the woods can be. Was it an alien or just an animal from an unusual angle? We can't say for sure, but you let us know if you have any ideas. Cross River Gorillas. If you think it's just another usual trail cam video which shows gorillas sitting here and there and busy with their normal routine, that's not the case. These aren't just any gorillas. These are the Cross River gorillas, and sadly they're endangered with only 200 individuals left to survive. In fact, these are the rarest gorillas on the whole planet. And this trail cam happened to capture these majestic creatures living their lives in Cameroon. Bigfoot. You must be thinking it's too dark and too blurry to actually determine that's a Bigfoot going about in the woods, but the size of the creature and what we can make out from the darkness, I don't see any chance of it being some other animal other than Bigfoot. I mean, we can see it walking on 2 feet and it being all dark and hairy, and its size as compared to the trees is pretty huge. Ask me and I'd say it's a Bigfoot for sure. A Mongolian death worm. This man had heard that mysterious creatures lurk in the desert, especially at night. So he did what anyone would do, set up a camera and waited for the night to pass so he could go check if it captured anything unusual. And to his surprise, it actually did. What was it? A death worm? An alien? A monster? We'll give you a moment to take a guess. But when he inspected it all, it turned out it was just a buffalo. But scary nonetheless. Don't worry, man, we were just as confused as you were. A wolf man. In June 2022, a man's security camera happened to click a photo which had the whole world in shock. Even the mainstream media couldn't help but feature it. They called it the Wolf Man. Nobody had any idea if that was someone playing a prank or was it really a wolf man. Sasquatch. At first, the residents of the area thought it was just a coyote responsible for the missing animals and spreading fear everywhere, so they set up cameras everywhere in hopes of catching the animal in the act. However, what the camera ended up recording was something that blew their minds. A huge creature was seen lurking in the woods. And what else could it be except for the famous Sasquatch, right? It was never caught, but was never seen ever again either. Maybe it's since that humans have come about it. A gliding creature. What do we call a person gliding through the streets? Not walking like normal human beings, but moving in some otherworldly form? We call it a ghost, and a ghost is what this CCTV camera ended up recording. Now, don't ask me whose ghost it was, because I don't know about that, but it does seem like in a hurry. Maybe he was going on his daily haunting duty. What do you say? A mysterious figure. A crooked, glowing creature moving in the weirdest way possible in the street. If I ever see something like that, I'm going to leave the country for good. I don't know how these people get the courage to actually stand there and record such stuff. And, well, as soon as this video hit the internet, it had everyone in shock. Questions arising from everywhere about the authenticity of the clip and the identity of the creature, but the questions had been unanswered ever since. A sneaky killer. How fast is a mountain lion, and how sneaky is it? If you find yourself wondering such questions, then we're here to give you answers. As this mountain lion sneaked up on the deer, and the deer was all clamped in its claws in a matter of mere seconds, and good thing this was all captured on a trail cam installed somewhere in California, and if you notice, the leap is right on the neck, fast and on target. Amazing. A terrifying encounter. When one cougar minded its own business, the other one was in a mood of letting the man know how dangerous he can be. So he ran as fast as he could towards the man and stopped just a few inches away. And he did it for 6 minutes straight. Might be the longest 6 minutes of that man's life. And about the man, I would say he did a great job at staying calm and not taking off running as most people would have done, and he never turned away from the cougar. And that's what saved his life. A bear fight. Recently, a trail camera recorded an intense brawl between two male bears. It all started when one of the bears let out a bone-chilling snarl, warning the other bear to back off. Things quickly escalated from there, with the bears wrestling and biting each other in a wild frenzy. The fight lasted for a few minutes before they eventually went their separate ways. It was a crazy scene that happened deep in the heart of the woods. A little girl. A creepy trail cam pic caused a stir online because a little girl was seen in the middle of nowhere with no humans around. People wondered how she got there or if she was a ghost, but it turns out she was just with her grandpa and the pic was taken in the woods. No need to be scared, she's a real human. The rake. This picture was captured by a trail camera in the dead of night. We haven't been able to investigate it further, but it appears to be a rake lurking in the darkness of the woods. We're keeping our eyes peeled for any updates, but for now, all we have is this eerie image, and people are saying it's real. A humpback whale. It isn't always the animals or the mysterious beings that lurk in the woods. Sometimes it's humpback whales also, found laying all deep in the woods. And how exactly the whale ended up there, so far away from the ocean? Well, that's been a mystery ever since. UFO. When a man went out to check his trail cam and what it captured this time, he was stunned to see the picture the camera had taken, To some, it appeared like two glowing eyes, and to others, it was a UFO. Since it was just a picture, we can't say if it was fake or just something which looks eerie. A trail cam attack. Crocodiles are super deadly creatures. They don't care about anyone or anything, not even if you're just trying to record them with a camera. They can sneak up on you real slow, and before you know it, you're stuck in their powerful jaws with no escape. Bobcat versus rattlesnake. These fierce felines hunt and chow down on all sorts of critters, but one time one of them got snapped by a camera while running into a rattlesnake on its way somewhere. It made sure to take out the snake before resuming its original plans, but man, it really had to work hard to take down that snake. It used its sharp claws and teeth to crush and bite the snake's head in an epic battle. A mountain lion. At first, the coyote could be seen running away from the camera's range of vision, and shortly after, the mountain lion appeared and chased after the coyote. And after a few seconds, we could hear the coyote screaming for help, indicating that the mountain lion had caught it. That's how fast these deadly lions are. A kangaroo fight. Have you ever seen videos of people fighting that go viral online? It happens quite a bit, right? But it's actually pretty rare to come across videos of kangaroos fighting. Well, I recently saw one on trail camera footage. These two kangaroos were squabbling, and it was pretty interesting to watch. The fight started when they grabbed each other by the neck and tried to knock each other over. But in the end, they both walked away peacefully. Pretty cool, huh? A ghost girl. A home security camera in Texas ended up recording a girl dressed in all white walking through the backyard. When the family saw it, they were all perplexed as the girl was not someone they knew or had ever seen. But then, who was it? A ghost? Or just someone pulling a prank? A creepy being. Humans have a natural curiosity that drives them to investigate anything unusual. But in this particular case, a man took his curiosity to the extreme. He heard strange sounds coming from the woods and decided to explore it late at night to see if he could find anything interesting. To his surprise, he stumbled upon a strange creature behind a tree, making weird whistle-like sounds.
What the hell is that? What the hell?
Realizing the danger, he quickly ran away as fast as he could without looking to see if the creature was following him. It seems his curiosity got the best of him in this scary encounter. Amazonian dog. The Amazon rainforest is a place where you can find unique and unusual creatures. People often put trail cameras there to capture these animals. Recently, a rare Amazonian short-eared dog was spotted on one of these cameras. The species was thought to be almost extinct for a while, and researchers were losing hope of finding any. However, this video gave them new hope. The dog was just sniffing around in the forest like any other day. Teams have been sent to locate the dog so that it can be kept safe in a preserve and live longer. A genet. When these pictures went viral online, they really got people talking. They show a little cat sitting on top of some big animals, which surprised a lot of folks. Nobody could believe how chill the cat was about it. Some people even made jokes about the cat being the boss of all the other animals. But then some experts gave their 2 cents and said that the cat, which is called a genet, was likely using the other animals as a lookout point to find prey. That's pretty clever if you ask me. An alien. There was a guy in Brazil who saw something strange on a rooftop while he was doing his own thing and decided to record it. What he captured was a weird creature that looked like a huge ant hanging out on the roof. Some people thought it was extraterrestrial, but to me it looks like a really big ant. Brazil has all sorts of creepy crawlies, so who knows what else is out there, right? The freakiest part is that the creature vanishes right after the guy spots it. What was it doing up there? We may never find out. Nightwalkers. Have you ever seen those spooky creatures people call night crawlers or soul walkers? They can give you the creeps, but they're also strangely calming. There's this video from California back in 2011 that shows 2 stick-like figures walking through the woods. They almost look like a family of ghosts, with one resembling a little baby ghost and the other maybe a ghost mom or dad. It's a peaceful and serene scene, and I hope they were able to keep wandering about undisturbed. A clown. Trail cameras are used to take pictures of animals in the wild, but sometimes they capture something really creepy. Like this one time, a man in a clown mask was caught on camera in the forest at night. We don't know what he was doing there, or if he was even a real person. The spooky clown stared right at the camera before vanishing into the woods, giving everyone the creeps. Who knows what other scary stuff is out there lurking in the shadows? A mouse deer. The deep, dark woods conceal secrets and elusive creatures that have managed to evade human detection. Despite our assumptions that certain species have gone extinct, they persist in their natural habitats, hidden from our eyes. However, a trail camera recently captured a remarkable sighting in Vietnam, a two-tone mouse deer that scientists believed had been extinct for 30 years. The footage astonished the world as it revealed a healthy and lively creature meandering through the woods. Monster in the woods. Some friends were having the time of their lives camping in the woods, having snacks and bonfire and movie night. But then one of the friends went somewhere and minutes passed, but she did not come back. While they were all worried, they had to go check on her. And as they ventured deep into the woods searching for the friend, at first they hear her scream. And then a strange creature comes into view. A spider-like being crawling terrifyingly towards them. What was that? Oh, nobody knows. Mysterious being. These two guys were out in the woods late at night. They thought it was a good idea to have some fireworks where no one will get disturbed. However, what they did not know is that someone will get disturbed, and it won't be good for them. As they were doing their thing, shrieks could be heard, and then they decided to go investigate it. And that's when we see the weirdest being possible shrieking and following the men.
Is it still there? Go! No! Run! Run!
They did make it out alive, but that was one hell of a close call. An alien. Who recorded this video? Who uploaded it on the internet? What exactly was this alien doing? Well, these are some of the questions which remain unanswered, and we're only left with this eerie clip, which looks like it belongs to some kind of secret alien interrogation thing. And if you ask me, I'd say from the view of it, the video looks as legit as anything can be. But do let us know what you guys think. A scary-looking thing. About this video, everyone has their own opinions. Some say it's just a gorilla, while others say it's a weird crawling creature, and to some it also looks like a spider. However, no matter what the being is, the way it slowly moves towards the camera, freaking out the man recording it.
What the fuck is that? Okay.
Looks like something straight out of a horror movie. A terrifying beast. As a man was recording this massive waterfall, he started noticing something weird. As he zoomed in, he saw a mysterious black creature at the very edge of the waterfall. What was it? Definitely not a plant, because the area did not look like it had any plants there. To some, it was an unknown being, while to others, it was someone with safety gear sitting at a very dangerous spot. Real or fake? It looked really creepy. A visitor. Imagine you're at home, catching some me time or just enjoying some alone time when you glance over and see an alien's head staring straight at you through the window. I mean, that'd freak anyone out, right? Luckily for us, a guy with a camera in his home caught the whole thing on video. It's easily one of the spookiest and clearest sightings of an alien ever caught on camera. A creepy monster. This massive creature was filmed by a man who went out to do some walk in the woods. When he was on it, he heard voices which sounded very similar to a baby crying. Intrigued, he had to go see where the sound was coming from and came across this. A giant weird thing crying and crawling on the ground. But worry not, because this is just a giant salamander who's known to vocalize barking, whining, hissing, or crying sounds. A strange creature. This trail cam footage might look very normal to you at first, but wait till it starts getting creepier. See that? See how the deer was about to turn into some kind of a monster? Well, it's been edited with some pretty impressive AI software that makes the deer look like they're transforming into demonic creatures. I just wanted to share it to show how advanced our technology has become. Pretty scary, right? A river monster. At first, people watching it thought it was an alligator or something, but then they saw it move in the strangest way possible. It was moving only with the help of its strong tail. Also, its front legs were missing. Was it just an alligator with its front legs missing? Or is it some type of evolving river monster which will wash out the whole human race? What do you guys think? A yak. This man was out mountain biking when this happened. He came across a very, very angry yak. Even though the yak couldn't do much harm, he did try charging at them.
Dangerous here. Oh, you get back.
And ask me, and I would say that was one terrifying yak, don't you agree? A creepy thing. This man happened to capture a creepy alien-like creature on camera. He was continuously hearing noises from the back, and he had to go check. And that's how he came across this. Was it an alien or just something fake? I guess we'll never know. But if it was true, I say we all hide in our homes because who knows what other weirdness is lurking out there. Someone in the window. This man had some previous encounters with the supernatural, thus he wanted camera installed everywhere, even in his bedroom. And one night, when he was sleeping peacefully, he sensed someone was watching him through the window. He got up ASAP and turned the lights on, and that's when we see the ghostly figure in the window. It looked like it was waving, maybe? Seriously, how creepy is that? A siren head. A man in Amsterdam was recording the pretty after sunset sky when he ended up getting one terrifying creature on the camera. A siren head. Yes, you heard it right. This massively huge siren head was seen. However, at first it was just some scary noises, and it took a few seconds before the monster came into sight. What do you guys think? Is it fake? Or do siren heads really exist in real life? An alien. This video is captured in an unknown location and shows a mysterious creature hiding behind a tree. As the camera approaches the tree, the creature briefly peers out from between the branches. Many have noted that it looks very much like an alien gray with a giant head, thin body, and large black eyes. Not much information is available about the clip, but it was likely filmed in a wooded area, maybe a forest or park. Could this creature actually be an alien from another world? A creepy creature. Dark web is something we all know about, but not everyone can access. And trust me, the ones who did access it ended up regretting. Take this video for example. We see a creepy creature moving in the house from hallway to the room and then to God knows where. And if you're thinking it was human, just look at the way it's walking. Does that look human to you? Alien-like figure. In July 2021, some people were on their way back to their home in India. According to them, it was somewhere around midnight when they came across this creepy figure walking along the road. Good thing they had a dash cam installed in their car, so we got this footage. And just look at the way it's walking. It seems like an alien to me. But do let us know what you guys think. A strange worm. A man in Australia was out for his routine walk when he came across this strange-looking worm-like thing. It's not the fact that it looks like a worm that makes it strange, but it's the length of the thing and the way it's divided into multiple segments is what makes it strangest of all. I've never seen any worm of such length before. A sneaky being. This man heard some strange noises from the forest and decided to venture out there late at night to see if he could find something interesting. However, he came across a bizarre creature lurking behind a tree and making creepy whistle-like noises. When he spotted it, he sprinted away as fast as he could, and fortunately, he managed to escape without harm. Another Yeti. The person who filmed the video was extremely surprised by the massive creature that he captured. However, the shocker was that the creature was nowhere to be seen when they returned the next day to film it again. This caused a frenzy online as people tried to decipher what it could be. Some speculated it might be a Nephilim or a Yeti, while others believed it could be a top-secret military project. A baby mermaid. You must have always heard about mermaids being a mythical creature, but this video will get you doubting that. A man in India saw something unusual swimming in the water and went to inspect it, and to his surprise, it was something which looked exactly like a mermaid, just a little smaller in size than we all must have expected. Perhaps it was a baby mermaid, or maybe just a little monkey drowning. With the video ending so abruptly, there's nothing we can say for sure. A Yeti. Now, sighting a Bigfoot here and there and from a very far away angle is one thing, but capturing a really big creature falling and tumbling down is just on another level. And this is exactly what this man was able to capture on his camera. Two big creatures, or perhaps Yetis, were seen devouring an animal, and a second passes and we see one tumbling down the icy hill. Even though it was recorded in 2016, to this day, no logical explanation has been given by anyone. A crawling creature. This video literally has everyone spooking out as they see a weird glowing creature in the middle of nowhere at night crawling on the ground. Some call it the rake, while others think it's just some unknown animal. But the ones who happened to record it said it looked similar to a human, but was not a human at all. So then what was it? I guess we'll never know. Bear versus mirror. Trail cameras usually capture animals chilling, hunting, and going along their normal life. But sometimes these cameras capture things out of the ordinary. For instance, this bear was just going along his way when he suddenly saw something he'd never seen before. His own reflection. And needless to say, we do not think he liked it a lot. A Bigfoot. Camera can be handy at times, but we need to be careful because sometimes trying to record dangerous things can lead to unfortunate circumstances. For instance, take the case of this man who tried to record a Bigfoot strolling along in the woods. Guess he was lucky, or maybe hiding perfectly, that the creature didn't notice him, or we wouldn't have been able to get this footage. Mysterious creature. A couple had been noticing weird noises in their backyard, but they'd never been able to know what was causing it, so they installed a camera there. It was all peaceful and quiet at first as nothing suspicious happened, but as some time passed, we saw a creepy head popping out of the fence. We see it once, then we see it twice. Was it just a dog, or was it something which had remained hidden from us since forever? A brave man. This footage might not be as disturbing or creepy as many others in today's list, but this is unusual nonetheless. As we see this Florida man dancing along with the alligator, we can't help but rub our eyes twice to make sure this is real. And trust us, this is real. Florida sure is one strange place. A sewer creature. This dude was filming and caught a freaky creature hiding in the shadows. It only showed itself when he stopped moving, and it had these creepy glowing eyes. But when he tried to get closer, the thing bolted back into the dark. Now we're left with more questions than answers, wondering what the heck that thing even was. An elk. So there was a video that captured an elk on a trail cam wearing a tire like a necklace. Crazy, right? This poor elk had the tire around his neck for 2 years while going about his daily life. As time passed, his neck and antlers grew bigger, which made it impossible for him to remove the tire by himself. Luckily, wildlife officials came to the rescue. They gave the elk some medicine to make him sleep and attempted to remove the tire. Sadly, they had to remove his antlers too. But don't worry, the elk will grow a new pair of antlers in due time. Dancing bear. The Wildlife Channel put cameras in the jungle to see the animals there. They were hoping to film them doing normal things, but what the cameras showed was surprising. The bears they caught on camera were dancing and moving their bodies like Shakira. It's pretty amazing that bears can dance like that, but did you know that bears also get itchy? And instead of scratching themselves with their paws like we do, they use trees. And look at them go. They're really enjoying themselves, aren't they? Lion intruders. When you go camping, unexpected guests might drop by, like mosquitoes and other bugs if you're lucky. But if you're not, like the guy in this video, A big male lion and 2 lionesses might pay you a visit. The man was sleeping soundly in his tent when all of a sudden this happened. Luckily, he stayed put and didn't try to run away. The lion seemed more curious than anything and didn't harm him. Despite the scare, the camper had an unforgettable night. Breathing Earth. So there's this really weird thing that a camera caught in the forest. It looked like the earth was moving up and down, almost like it was taking a break from spinning and going around the sun. People call it the breathing earth because it's like the ground is breathing. This happens when the wind is strong and the ground is loose. It can be pretty scary if you don't know what's going on. You might think the earth is going to swallow you up. It's definitely one of the craziest things ever caught on trail camera. A massive spider. Someone caught a really creepy video and posted it online. It shows a creature that looks like a spider or maybe a crab, and it scared a lot of people. At first, I thought it was just a dog dressed up in a spider suit, but when I took a closer look, I realized it definitely wasn't a dog. The only dog in the video looked totally freaked out by the weird bent-legged things too. So we're all pretty confused about what it could be. Buck shedding antlers. So there was this male deer in Ottawa, Canada that got caught on camera losing its antlers. It might seem strange to us, but it's actually a regular thing for male deer to lose their antlers in winter to make way for new ones. The shedding process usually happens from late winter to early spring. It was funny to see that the deer in the video seemed surprised by what was happening and ran away looking confused. Weird lights. It's really hard to figure out what those lights in the sky are. Some people think they might be aliens, but others think it's just a bug in front of the camera. Do you think this means aliens are visiting us, or maybe they're here but we don't even know it? Also, what about those strange flying objects we sometimes see? The government just released a report on them, but there's still not enough evidence to know for sure what they are. Bird murmuration. We know how birds travel from one place to another in flocks, all flying together to search for new places to live and feed, right? But this murmuration of a massive flock of birds was just something else. Even the researchers said they'd never seen such a kind of behavior in birds before, and that it might be alarming as well. And unusual phenomenon. Do you doubt the existence of Bigfoot and other creatures like that? Well, check this out. There's some drone footage that might make you think twice. In the video, you can see some enormous trees shaking like crazy as if a giant monster is trying to pull them out of the ground. And we're not talking about puny trees. These ones are huge and super tall. No way could a person or machine do something like that. So do you still believe that Bigfoots are just made-up stories? A fox family. And this video was captured on a trail cam, and it's just too cute to miss. You can see a mother fox and her 4 cubs all playing around and annoying their mom a bit, but she doesn't seem to mind at all. What's even more amazing is that the family seems completely oblivious to the fact that they're being recorded. The subscribers pick. This picture shows a Bigfoot walking through the woods. It was taken by a trail cam installed in the Charleston area, but when they went to investigate it, it turned out to just be a cutout of a cardboard, which was all part of a prank pulled by someone. A self-loving bear. Believe it or not, this bear from Boulder, Colorado has become the new selfie champ. The story goes that this curious creature found a camera with a motion sensor and decided to go wild with it. The outcome? More than 400 snapshots of the bear posing in all kinds of ways, giving his best sultry gaze and even making some goofy faces. This bear wasn't going to quit until it got every picture just right for social media. Strange little beings. Now, these little beings were found by a woman on her kitchen floor. And if you're thinking these are little mice, no, they are not. According to the experts, the legs of the creatures resembled moths, and there's a chance that the upper body might have been eaten by a cat, but the experts weren't so sure either. So we don't know what these tiny little beings were. Buck in a wig. Have you ever come across the buck who's the handsomest of all? The bad boy grazing the grass and winning all the ladies with his wig on? Well, now you have. This buck was recorded in 2013 and caught the attention of everyone with his stylish wig. It was at first part of his antlers, but then slowly moved on top of his head, making him the most stunning buck ever. A creepy deer. Did you check out that weird video of a goat standing still and staring straight ahead? It's been all over the web and everyone's losing it. Some peeps reckon it might be the mythical skinwalker, while others are calling BS. We ain't got a clue who shot it, so it's all up to our own imaginations.
Hello. She wants to come in.
Damn, one thing's for certain. It's super creepy. Alien in Graveyard. Footage was uploaded by some unknown guy in 2017, and it had everyone in shock who happened to watch it. At first, we see the quiet of a cemetery, but then as the camera rolls on, we catch a glimpse of a bizarre humanoid figure half hiding behind a grave. If we zoom into it, we see a weird being with a huge head and arms. It fits so accurately to what we have in mind for an alien, don't you think? A haunted tunnel. This might be too short of a clip, but a mere second is enough to feel the spookiness of the video. We see a creepy figure emerging from the dark and running straight towards the man holding the camera. And then we see the man running as fast as he can for his life. I'm not going near any tunnels from now on. Rake. A kid was out in the woods when he started hearing some weird noises, and that's when he decided to take his phone out and film it while trying to see what was causing it. And to his surprise, it wasn't just him who was looking for the creature. The creature was also looking for him, and that we get to know when he comes out of the woods and starts running towards the kid. A creepy girl. Back in 2013, there was this video that spread like wildfire online. It showed a lone girl dressed in white walking around a cemetery while some men recorded her. The video lasted about 4 minutes, and the girl was shown wandering around the graveyard, stopping by different graves. Who was she? Did she happen to be a ghost? These and countless other questions were thrown around, but no one had any answers to offer. A crawling thing. In this video, we see a courageous person exploring an empty house using only a flashlight. While exploring, the person begins to feel uneasy, and then a frightening creature appears from the darkness, moving towards them and making terrifying sounds. The person quickly runs away from the house, clearly scared by the unknown creature. Although we don't know what the creature was, it's obvious that the abandoned house is not a suitable place for those who are easily frightened. A deer. At first, we see a deer, all panicking, running from here to there, and eventually running away from the man. And in a second emerges another deer unlike any other, with its neck all folded. And then it runs away too, as fast as it could. All this happens in a few seconds, and the man there is like, what just happened? Even though it was just 2 deer, that does not make the video any less creepy. A weird body. In May 2019, a woman found a weird body laying in her yard in Florida. She immediately called the authorities to come and see what it was, and needless to say, they were all just as perplexed as she was. According to some, it was a big lizard. But what exactly caused the big lizard to dry up like that? Not even the bones were there. A frozen monster. It's not just forests and jungles that hide secrets beyond our imagination. Sometimes it's the ice too. For instance, this man who ended up finding a Bigfoot all frozen up under the ice.
I can see its eyes and it's his head.
Maybe it got trapped inside by the cruel nature, or maybe it was just a hoax. Which, even if it was, I'll be scared as hell still. Snakes. This footage was filmed when a team of workers were told by some locals that they think there's a snake in their ceiling. None of them knew that it wasn't just a snake on that ceiling, but 2 massive snakes living up there. As the ceiling dropped, the snakes almost dropped with it too, leaving everyone near them to jump back in horror. It happened in Malaysia, and since this video was uploaded, everyone there has been checking their ceilings twice every night. A giant spider. Now, was it just a tiny spider looking so big due to being close to the trail cam? Or was it a really massive spider lurking in the depths of the woods? It's up to you what you think, but if you ask me, I'm never going into those woods with such long-legged creatures crawling everywhere. Dwarves. Are dwarves real or are they just works of fantasy? I guess you'll be shocked to know that there's a chance that these creatures might be real. I mean, look at this video and the small things in the jungle. Don't they look very similar to what a dwarf would be like? Someone in the sink. I don't know if any of you might have guessed it, but this one is also from Florida. She wanted to check the outside bathroom, which was along the pool, and it seemed all fine until she went up close to the sink and found this thing hiding inside. But the question here is, what was it? A snake? A lizard? A gecko? And because it's Florida, we can't really say anything for sure. Glowing eyes. Imagine you're out with friends on a drive late at night and you encounter this in the way. Well, this is what happened to these guys who were just having fun when not just one but two pairs of creepy glowing eyes started staring at them. Even though the creatures were far and the guys were in the car, that was not enough to make them any less scared. A creepy doll. Once a man was in the forest gathering some logs when he stumbled upon something peculiar. We're not exactly sure what was going through his mind, but he ended up picking up this eerie doll and taking it back to his home. To make matters even more bizarre, he even decided to record the doll while it was doing who knows what. If it were me, I wouldn't even dream of doing something like that. Not even in a million years. A mutated spider. If you think giant mutated spiders are only in the sci-fi movies, you think wrong, and this video will show you how. People in Ragasnika were shocked when one morning they saw this giant spider crawling across this hill. Luckily, it was far away from the population, so no one got harmed. But the most mysterious part is that the spider just vanished in a few minutes. Where did it go? No one knows. A scary smile. Let me give you some advice. If you're out late at night and see a tunnel on the way, it's better to turn your car around and drive as far away from the tunnel as possible, because if you don't, something like this might be waiting for you inside. This creature with the creepiest smile possible was waiting at the entrance, and whatever happened to the people, we'll never get to know because the video just ended there. An unknown insect. Okay, so what comes into your mind when you first see it? Me, being dumb, thought it was the grass walking, but it turns out to be some kind of insect, a very tiny one. Though the man who uploaded it didn't happen to have any kind of information about it, and the thing was just as unusual to him as it is to all of us. But let us know if you guys have any info on this one. A spooky creature. This hairless creature was discovered by a group of plantation workers. It had small ears, no tail, and a bald, brownish-gray body with sharp claws. The workers were frightened by its odd appearance and believed it was a supernatural entity coming to haunt them. They attacked the creature, but afterward, specialists in nature explained that it was an uncommon Malayan sun bear. The workers were rebuked for their harsh behavior, and the bear was relocated to its natural habitat in the woods. A creature in the woods. As the videographer was recording a moose by the side of the road in Gaspésie, Quebec, Canada, they noticed an oddity in the footage. Although the moose was initially the only thing in view, the viewer became curious about a strange figure on the back left of the video. The clip gained a lot of attention online, and many people made guesses about what the enigmatic figure could be, ranging from supernatural beings to extraterrestrial life forms. The question of what could be hiding in the Quebec wilderness remains unanswered, causing people to wonder. This image is taken from two videos. One which shows a ghost attempting to hide from something, and to do that he jumps into the water. This whole thing was recorded on a trail cam set nearby to look for animals. The next clip shows an alien-like figure peeking from behind the tree. If it wasn't for the glowing eyes, the figure might have gone unnoticed and considered to be just part of the tree. Something hanging from goat. In the video, a group of individuals is seen walking at night with torches and sticks while leading some goats. Everything seems ordinary until you spot a white goat with an unusual object hanging from its neck. The men appear frightened by the object, which stays attached to the goat even when they attempt to take it off. Eventually, it resembles a strange shadow on the ground, swiftly heading towards the forest and vanishing. To me, it appears quite disturbing. What are your thoughts on what it might be? A ghost. Many people believe that Cannock Chase is the most haunted town in the UK due to the numerous reports of paranormal events that have occurred over the years. However, there were still some doubts until a video surfaced online featuring a girl in a white dress standing in the forest. It was later discovered that she was actually a black-eyed girl in a school uniform. The eerie footage was captured by a drone and quickly became viral, leaving millions of people, especially those residing in the vicinity, feeling uneasy. Missing prisoner. This epic video was recorded by a drone which was actually helping the police find a prisoner who somehow got away and was hiding somewhere. And well, the view the drone gave was enough for them to see the man laying in the field. As soon as he heard the drone, he knew he was in trouble. Well, of course, you can guess what happened next. He got caught. A zombie ghost town. It isn't always the Bigfoot and the rakes that the drones spot. Sometimes it's way more than that. Take this clip, for example. These two friends were out exploring an abandoned ghost town through their drone camera, and that's when they came across this eerie sight. Zombies. Or maybe at least it looked like it. And it wasn't just one. They spotted more than one and also some people who were trying to take them down. Now, we think they're zombies, but if you have any better explanations, do let us know. A massive being. A gentleman in Mexico saw a massive creature strolling up the mountainside. To those who suspect that it might be untrue, be aware that it's not fabricated. Judging by the size of the buildings, the mountains, and the creature, it was certainly a Bigfoot walking along the hills, headed in an unknown direction. A creepy monster. This video was filmed in the UK and shows an unusual creature hopping across the road. Locals had reported seeing a strange being for months before the footage was shared, but no one believed them until they witnessed it firsthand. The identity of the creature remains a mystery, but do let us know if you guys know anything about it. Dobby. Can you decide if this spooky video captured by a family's CCTV is weird or not? They initially believed it was their son pulling a Halloween joke, dressed in a costume that had skinny legs and a head similar to Dobby from Harry Potter. However, they found out it wasn't him by comparing it to their son's appearance and even making him reenact the scene with underwear on his head. So if it wasn't their son, then what could it be? Was it just a figment of their imagination or something more ominous lurking in the darkness? A spider. This footage captures an enormous spider scaling a building. Truly a colossal creature that invokes a sense of dread. It's hard to imagine encountering such a creature in person. In fact, the image is so vivid that it may linger in my thoughts for some time to come. Although I cannot confirm its authenticity, I'm not taking any risks and will steer clear of the location where this video is filmed. Teleportation. A drone in the US captured a video that reportedly shows a man teleporting. The video starts with the man walking by the roadside, but he suddenly disappears into thin air. This raises a lot of questions, such as when he went and how he was able to do it. Unfortunately, no additional information could be uncovered. A scary woman. What are you doing if you see an abandoned church in the middle of nowhere? At least you won't be going in, right? But these guys decided to go inside and check what's happening there. And well, I guess that got what they were expecting. A creepy woman in a white dress sitting all alone. And creeping the hell out of them. Mass burial. Now, this one isn't the usual found this creature type of clip. Instead, this one shows the heartbreaking moments of a mass burial which had to happen after the recent earthquake that hit Turkey. Hundreds of unidentified people had to meet their end like that. May they all rest in peace. Amazon tribe. Back in 2016, after exploring the Amazon forest, Jose Carlos Morales came across a tribe that had not been contacted before. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Morales observed that these people had painted their bodies in a bright red hue, which may have come from crushed seeds or other sources. He mentioned that these Indian tribes had fled from other parts of the continent and settled in the Amazon rainforest near Brazil. It's amazing to think that there are still tribes out there that have never had any contact with the outside world. Loch Ness Monster. The concept of an unknown creature hiding in the deep and dark waters has always intrigued people. Although we rarely witness such sightings, sometimes they turn out to be real and mysterious, while other times they're just a fake trick. Recently, a drone flying over a lake captured an enormous figure in the water. Could it be the legendary Loch Ness Monster, or something else concealed in the depths? It's up to you to decide. Humpback whales. Whenever drones are used to capture footage of the ocean, we can witness some amazing sights from nature. Take, for example, this video where we see whales creating a spiral shape that follows the Fibonacci sequence. It's truly remarkable to observe the whales in action from the very beginning of their movements all the way up to the moment they break the surface to consume their prey inside the large air bubble rings they create. It's simply awe-inspiring. A drone ghost. Do you believe that the image of ghosts wearing white cloth and shining bodies is only limited to movies? Well, you might need to reconsider that thought. Recently, a video captured an object that appeared to be a ghost floating around and investigating an area. But as it gets closer to the camera, you'll come to realize that it's actually a drone which has been made to look like a ghost by someone, probably for Halloween. Although it's not real, it still looks impressive, don't you think? Old Car City. Old Car City, located in the United States, is a renowned junkyard covering 34 acres near White, Georgia, housing over 4,000 cars. The vast collection of cars makes it hard to look in any direction without seeing them. Visitors can walk along almost 6 miles of paths within the property, but the owner charges extra for photography. So, have you considered a photo shoot at this fascinating location? Kangaroo attack. It's not okay to harm baby animals, no matter how tiny or weak they may be. A video recently captured a mother kangaroo chasing and taking down a flying drone that was filming her adorable babies. The mother kangaroo likely saw the drone as a danger to her young and acted to keep them safe. It's unknown if the person operating the drone was able to retrieve it, but they should definitely think twice before upsetting another protective mama kangaroo. A Bigfoot. Get ready to be scared by a new sighting in Alberta, Canada. Andrew Dawson recorded a video that seems to reveal a huge being, perhaps from a tribe of giants who come from that area, strolling on top of a mountain with no clear support. The dark form is so immense that it was initially spotted by 2 commuters during their regular drive. Many people are now curious if the tales about giants in this part of the world are factual, or if something more ominous is hiding in the Alberta mountains. Sharks. The drone video displays a swimmer calmly resting on top of a group of sharks without any apparent concern for her safety. The video was captured by a tourist flying a drone off the shore of the Maldives. While snorkeling, the group spotted a gathering of nurse sharks who were mostly harmless to humans. One adventurous woman decided to join them in the water. While this is a peaceful way to connect with nature, it's also risky because a large shark could mistakenly attack, and the consequences could be fatal. Bird runs on water. This man was holding a little bird who appeared to be calm at first, but as soon as the man put it down, the bird did not even wait for a second before running on the water and as far away from the man as possible. Though I should mention that this little guy is so me running away from my responsibilities. A giant wolf. Let's say you're out at night having the time of your life with your friends, and suddenly out of nowhere you get to see the massive animal coming out of the dark and staring right at you. I don't know why these guys just decided to stay there and film it. That creature's a gigantic wolf, man. Your best bet's to run for your life. A baby bird. We're all aware that nature has its unique way of functioning, but there are times we're just left shocked by the way nature makes things. For instance, take this example. This tiny bird looks like something out of a horror movie. Like it's gonna grow big and then end humanity. And can you believe it? This is what they look like when they grow up. Volcano. Recently, numerous individuals climbed a steep trail to witness an active volcano located on Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula. Despite the danger involved, people took the risk as it's not a common occurrence to see an active volcano in all its splendor. Nevertheless, officials have declared that using a drone is a safer way to experience the site. This footage presents a picturesque view that appears to be captured on a different planet with volcanic activity. But don't let its beauty deceive you, as this natural wonder could turn into a calamity. Titanoboa. Recorded in unclear water, this footage displays a colossal snake attempting to locate an exit. Its actual size could be miscalculated, but by comparing it to nearby items, it's presumed to be roughly 40 feet in length. This video is a frightening indication that these Titanoboas may be present, conceivably concealed. Moose. Take a look at this breathtaking drone footage that captured an incredible moment in nature that most of us never got to witness. This majestic moose shed its antlers and took off into the wilderness. The drone captured the moment in stunning clarity, and you could almost feel the excitement of witnessing such a rare occurrence. This video stood out from the rest with its perfect timing, impeccable camera quality, and the sheer beauty of the natural surroundings. A drone sacrifice. Ever wondered how we get all these amazing footages of volcanoes erupting from such close angles? Well, apparently lots of drones are sacrificed in this ritual. And even though it's very sad, but the drone which gave us these amazing shots of an active volcano in Vanuatu is no more with us either. Respect for our fallen soldier. World's biggest cemetery. Take to the skies with this drone footage capturing the world's largest cemetery in Iraq. Spanning an impressive 1,485.5 acres, this sprawling site is home to over 5 million graves. From above, the enormity of this burial ground is striking, with an endless sea of tombstones stretching out in all directions. Despite its somber purpose, the sheer magnitude of this cemetery is both breathtaking and awe-inspiring. As the camera glides overhead, it's easy to imagine the stories and histories buried beneath the surface, reminding us of the significance and power of honoring those who have passed. Reindeers. Lately, some really strange animal videos have been going viral on the internet, and it's freaking people out. The latest one was shot by a drone, and it shows a bunch of reindeer walking around in a circle like they're hypnotized or something. Some folks think this is a sign from above that the world is coming to an end, or that a major natural disaster is about to go down. Nobody really knows for sure what's going on, and even the experts are stumped. An alligator. Flying a drone in for a close-up of an alligator might get you a cool shot, but it might be the last thing your drone ever sees. This is what a travel blogger in the Florida Everglades learned when she attempted to capture footage of an alligator. She flew her new drone towards the gator for a closer view. Suddenly, the alligator leaped up and bit through the drone's battery.
Suddenly.
Talk about indigestion. Sadly, the blogger lost her drone, but gained a viral video. Huntsman spider. If you're afraid of spiders, you might want to skip this part, because what's coming up next is going to give you the creeps for at least a week. It's the huntsman spider, and as its name suggests, it's one of the scariest spiders out there. Just take a look at its enormous size. If I saw one of these in my room, I'd seriously consider moving to a different country. Police drones. Although drones are considered groundbreaking technology, not everyone is fond of them. Criminals in particular are at risk of being caught due to their presence. However, it's not people catching them, but rather the Japanese police using their own drones equipped with nets to catch rogue or trespassing drones. It's quite a sight to witness the police drones apprehending other drones, and feels like something straight out of an action movie. The authorities only deploy these drones when they notice suspicious-looking drones in the sky. A Russian soldier. An astonishing video has emerged on the internet displaying the exceptional courage of a Russian soldier. The soldier caught a drone bomb dropped on him by Ukrainian forces and threw it away instantly. The soldier's swift response rescued his own life and those of others present. This occurrence reminds us of the continuing conflict between Russia and Ukraine and the bravery of soldiers risking their lives on both sides. An octomoose. Okay, now this is one trippy video which will leave you all shocked and confused. How is this even real? Walking with 8 legs with no care of anything? Well, let us tell you. If you look closely, it's just 2 moose walking really close to each other. A missing kid. In September 2022, a small boy got lost in the woods as it was getting dark and more frightening. The boy had no way of escaping, but luckily the police officers had a great plan. They decided to use a thermal camera on a drone to locate the boy. After a thorough search, the drone spotted something deep in the woods. The drone then directed the police, ambulance, and fire crews to the boy's location. The crews found the boy safe and sound. An alien. This video was captured by a home security system, and it shows a man walking out of his front door and disappearing in a burst of light. This is causing everyone to question what exactly occurred to him. Some believe it could be a prank, while others speculate that it's a sign of extraterrestrial beings or a groundbreaking new invention. Regardless, it's extremely mind-boggling. The Rake. Just picture yourself exploring the woods with your drone camera, enjoying the scenery, when suddenly you spot something strange out of the corner of your eye. This is exactly what happened to a YouTuber and their friend while filming nature's calm beauty. At first, they assumed it was a coyote moving behind the trees, but as they flew the drone closer, they were startled to discover it was something far more bizarre and unsettling. The creature appeared to be human-like, but moved in a very peculiar and creepy way. Even now, nobody knows what this strange figure was, but the drone footage is enough to make your skin crawl. Abandoned bicycles. Looks like China's bicycle rental companies were pedaling too hard, but didn't quite manage to stay on track. A few years ago, bike rental services flooded China's market, overestimating the demand. As a result, millions of colorful bikes were left abandoned, causing traffic and congestion. Companies couldn't control the situation, leading to closures and thousands of leftover bikes scattered everywhere. Drone footage captured bicycle graveyards in every major city, rusting away as mountains of abandoned bikes. A perfectly frozen lake. The freezing weather usually doesn't have much to offer, but this amazing ice skating video is an exception. It'll leave you in awe and a bit scared at the same time. A man from Utah captured the breathtaking drone footage of an ice skater gracefully gliding across a frozen lake. Since the skater's drone footage was posted on Instagram, thousands of people have been left speechless. Rock of Nazla. The Rock of Nazla, or as everyone calls it, Al-Nasla, is located in Saudi Arabia, and it's said that it was the aliens who cut it in half, because no human could do that. It looks like it was done with a laser or some advanced tool, but it's been around for ages, way before we had that kind of technology. So who or what actually did it? That's still a mystery waiting to be solved. Hand in Desert. The Hand of the Desert is truly an impressive sight, both in its size and location. Its mysterious presence in the midst of a vast desert landscape adds to its allure and makes it a must-see destination for travelers exploring the region. The fact that it was created over 40 years ago and still stands as a remarkable work of art is a testament to the skill and creativity of the Chilean sculptor who crafted it. And this video happened to have captured the best possible view of it. Gate to Hell. As we head towards the Turkmen Desert, the drone footage reveals a blazing gas crater commonly called the Darvaza gas crater. It's situated near the village of Darvaza and spans across 230 feet in width. The fiery pit's been on fire for more than 5 decades, emitting a fiery glow that can be witnessed from afar. Due to its long-lasting flames, it's often referred to as the Gates of Hell. The crater was initially created in the early 1970s when the ground caved in during a Soviet gas drilling mission. To prevent natural gas leakage, scientists set the enormous hole on fire, and it's been burning ever since. This image is taken from an incident which happened in August 2022. A man was swimming in the lake when an alligator sneaked up on him and almost had him dead in its strong jaws. Luckily, the man survived as he put his hand in the gator's mouth to get the beast to let him go. This whole incident was recorded on a drone and had people in shock when it hit the internet. Mud volcano. The Tavern Wildlife Park recorded an unusual volcanic event in September 2022. The phenomenon was the Lipad mud volcano, which is considered rare. Although it lasted for about 10 minutes and covered an area almost as big as a football field, it was reported to be not harmful. Strong bubbles of mud were produced, but they weren't even hot. This event resulted in the formation of mineral-rich soil, which is beneficial for animals to lick. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos.
A land of ancient civilization, Egypt holds in it the most bizarre, terrifying, and peculiar creatures. Some are remains of the dead, others still out there trying to scare humans with their frightening features. Sit tight to see these mind-boggling things caught on camera. Tied mummy. An ancient criminal? Or proof of classic cruelty from our ancestors' time? Well, in truth, it's none of these. Found in a 1.8 meter deep pit, the body of a man believed to be in his mid-age was strangely tied and was buried 1,800 years ago in this burial chamber. But with his hand covering the face and whole body being tied with ropes, the mummy is not a victim, but actually it was a part of their custom that was practiced around hundreds of years ago. Yes, researchers believe that the whole binding process may have been some kind of ritual, practiced to preserve the bodies forever. Croc mummies. Either dead or alive, crocs will always scare humans to their cores. While digging the ancient tombs, the research workers found 12 crocs buried in the soil. Looking alive from afar, it felt like they might open their jaws at any moment, because their textured skin still looked fresh and the teeth were still intact within the jaws. The researchers were stunned when they got to know that the crocodiles had been buried 2,500 years prior, because how could something this old be in almost its original condition? Well, actually, they were preserved with a particular method which excluded wrappings and resin, which helped them keep their original condition. Abandoned alien. Strolling in the desert is an alien creature. Though it has a humanoid body with its extremely long limbs, thin skin, and the way it is walking with a stooped posture, it sure gives some eerie vibes to the onlookers. Because of the blurry video, some say that it is a chupacabra walking in the deserts and planning an attack on the livestock. A majority of the people believe that because it is found in a deserted area, it could be a mummy that decided to come alive after spending centuries in the coffin. Because how else could anyone explain the slim body of the weirdo walking in the middle of the day? Deserted whales. While we believe that fish and deserts are two parallel things, researchers in Egypt found whale carcasses right in the desert lands, and not just one or two. The desert was filled with bones, skulls, and huge carcasses of whales. In fact, these bones were so abundant in the land that it was given the name of Whale Valley. While folks were baffled, how could it be possible? According to investigators, it may be possible that in ancient ages, it was a result of a mass beaching, in which the whales and dolphins willingly strand themselves on land and die. And when the ocean moved further away, they may have been buried in the sand. Ancient. Standing in an Egyptian museum is this eerie statue, containing a perfectly carved body with its eyes resembling a human and always observing the people. The statue, being 4,500 years old and being held in the Museum of Cairo, is considered a wonder of ancient art. The statue has a perfectly plastered and painted outermost layer, but the most striking feature of the statue is no doubt its eyes. Made with sycamore wood, the fact that they are still present in almost their original form is quite impressive, as the researchers are trying to figure out the secret ingredient used to keep it so long-lasting. Bursting pool. Right in the middle of the desert, there's lava popping out, and it looks like it's about to explode on the onlookers' faces. But what is it? This question has been baffling people for so long. Some said it was the pit of the Sarlacc, a beast believed to be living beneath the desert sands. The others called it a desert monster coming out of its hiding place. But in reality, it's actually neither of these, as it was a small reserve of oil found in the middle of Egypt's desert, and due to extreme heat, the oil looked like it was about to burst out of the small hole. Sleeping girl. Looking like a sleeping child, the girl shocked the archaeologists when it was caught, because it felt like the girl would open its eyes at any moment. But actually, she had been dead for about 1,200 years, and was perfectly preserved, which muddled the researcher too. But her history is even more baffling. The girl was a teenager when she was sacrificed as a common religious practice of that time. Found in her hair were the signs of consuming alcohol and cocoa, which were given to her as a way to persuade her for the sacrifice, which actually means that she was drugged before the ritual took place. Concealed toads. Preserving the least expected things. The old customs are nothing but a mystery for the present world. Just like this, when a man, while digging an ancient tomb, unearthed a jar. While the other jars used to be filled with the organs of humans that died hundreds of years ago, this one was filled with 8 mummified toads. Yeah, toads, about 4,000 years old. And when they investigated them even further, the archaeologists were shocked to see that all 8 toads were decapitated before being preserved in the jar. But nobody knows what the purpose of preserving toads was. Were they considered holy in the past world? Or is there some mystery in it we cannot ever unveil? Preserved victim. While preservation of the old elite people is something we're used to, a preserved murder victim was something new even for the archaeologists. Not manually buried, but being dumped in a peat bog, the corpse was naturally preserved. Meet the 2,400-year-old corpse, known as the Tulland Man. Found deep in a bog with its neck tied with rope, the researchers were able to determine that the corpse had been hung. For what purpose, no one knows. But one thing there is the last meal he had eaten before he was put to death, which turned out to be porridge and some fish. Exposed grave. Not a mummy, but a man's camera caught a bizarre scene from a cemetery. He spotted a half-open grave in the middle of the cemetery, and taking a closer look, the man's camera recorded the skeleton of a human, probably 1.8 meters tall, lying inside. Not knowing how the grave opened, the guy went a little inside, and he was shocked to see some more skulls placed on the grave's corner. And that was not it, as human legs and some other body parts were also present inside it, which definitely didn't belong to the single person. So what was going on here? Let me know what you think. Mummified Queen. With her veins still red, skin still tough, the lady, known as the Queen of Mummification, is said to be the wealthiest woman of her time. Sleeping along with the valuables that were placed inside her tomb, she showed the signs of wealth and prosperity, and the researchers assumed that this might be the reason behind the exemplary preservation of the lady, because even after being dead for hundreds of years, her joints were still flexible, even though her eyelash and nose hair were still intact, and it looked like a corpse of a recently deceased person, rather than someone who had died centuries ago. Dino people. If you used to believe that humans came following the dinosaurs' extinction, then get ready to be proven wrong. As buried underneath a tomb, scientists discovered something strange yet fascinating. They unearthed hundreds of figurines containing the figure of humans and dinosaurs, and both of them along with each other. And even some of them showed people riding the dinosaurs, which potentially proves that there might have been some time in the ancient eras where both of these creatures used to live together, but probably for a very short period of time, that no signs other than these thousands-of-year-old figurines were found. Gold mummies. This is the Valley of the Gold Mummies, where multiple people are taking their eternal sleep, covered in gold, containing a rich culture filled with distinct traditions. Egyptians highly impacted their surroundings, just like the Romans, who, when invading Egypt, adopted the process of mummification, and that in gold, obsessed with the idea of gold. The Egyptians used to believe that the gods were made up of gold, so when their kings died, they used to cover their bodies in gold-plated coffins, and sometimes even covered their faces with gold so that they could become a divine being in the afterlife. Sewer Monster. While exploring the ancient caves, a group of explorers decided to go a little further inside it, in search of some old treasures that might be hidden there. When not being able to locate anything, the group decided to head back towards their car. But it turned out someone really didn't want them to go back, as when heading back, one of the boys heard something coming from an ancient drainage system a little distant from the caves. And there it was, a strange creature, a cryptid, that even though locked in the bars, was trying all of its efforts to come out and catch the group.
Okay.
But luckily, the group made it out unharmed. Unicorn remains. While many of us believe that unicorns belong to the fictional world and don't belong to our world, a man's camera caught the unexpected, a unicorn skull half buried in the sand. And when it was brought to the researchers, they revealed something that might disappoint you, as these ancient unicorns are nothing like we expected them to be, and are more recent than the humans had assumed. Because in reality, the unicorns did not resemble the horses, but actually were something quite like rhinos, with a single horn over its head, that roamed the earth about 29,000 years ago. Coffins of Saqqara. Found inside the tomb of Saqqara are buried the rarest and the most fascinating coffins. An archaeologist was shocked when he accidentally found a chamber of huge figurines that were buried there about 2,000 years ago. And when they went inside, the archaeologist was surprised to see hundreds of them placed inside the chamber. And not alone, they were placed along with gilded masks and falcons, and a lot of other antique things that showed signs of wealth, as no ordinary people were inside those coffins. Some of them were kings and queens of the 2,000-year-old world, and that proves that Saqqara was once a land of great importance. Egyptian Witch. A man decided to visit a cave to see the ancient witch that is believed to be living there. At first, he was disappointed to have not spotted anything, but on his way back, he was shocked to see a creature sitting on the abandoned side of the mountain. The creature, or must I say the womanly beast wearing black clothes, had a strange appearance. Holding a stick made of animal skull, the cryptid's face was all covered. Furious for being followed by the man, the witch went inside, and even from a distance, it was clear that she was casting some sort of spell. Clearly for this reason, as she didn't want the boy to leave there alive. Lady Rye. A perfect example of embalming for the archaeologists. This is Lady Rye, discovered in 1881. She is believed to have died at 40 years of age, and is usually referred to as the oldest mummy which has ever been found. But other than being the oldest lady, Rye's body holds so many fascinating features. Her body was at first covered in linen clothing, and then for preservation, the people had used a mixture of resin and sand, which had helped in keeping the corpse intact. And her CT scan revealed that she had been suffering from atherosclerosis, which led to her death, a disease quite common in people from that age. Gowned Man. Why is it always that in the darkest of nights, people decide to explore the creepiest of places? Well, right there, stands the answer to our question. While visiting the ancient detention center that was actually built to imprison the old criminals, hearing some weird voices, the visitors were sure that there was something strange going on in there. But, well, whatever it was, didn't give the people any time to react, as it popped right in front of them. Wearing a long white gown. Because the video cuts right there, nothing much is known of the eerie gowned man. But what do you think it actually was? Mystery Creature. When caught on camera, a mysterious creature with a pale color was caught walking on an empty road at night. It was about 2 meters tall and was walking while scooching over. It had a human head, but relatively skinny body. And as soon as the video went viral, it started a debate among the paranormal enthusiasts. Some say it is a hoax, while others believe the video shows they have spotted similar things around their houses. But because the exact location of the creature was not known, nothing much about it was revealed. So, was it a ghost, a mummy, or an alien caught wandering? Cave ghost. Feeling that something is not right with the place, the man started recording to get proof of what he was seeing. It was wearing a white cape-like clothing and kept encountering the man, probably signaling him to go back. And there it was, a little far, but a creature with no legs and presumably no bones was caught at an abandoned place and strolling there for some time. The ghost-like creature went straight into the wall and disappeared. Because the video cuts there, not much is known about the creature. But do let me know what you think of this flying ghost. Seti the Mummy. Lying in the National Museum of Egypt, Seti's mummy has gained much importance for the last few years, as researchers have found something that has been keeping the mummy intact for years. Other than being usually packed and mummified like the rest, it looks like the ancient Egyptians used to be quite advanced in plastic surgery, as they have applied filters on the cheekbones and even on the head. That's how, even after being decapitated by some robbers 3,000 years ago, the mummy, covered in lots of clothing, still lies in the museum, as fresh as it can be. Inside the pyramids. Compared to our little knowledge, there are way more mysteries that the pyramids contain. Just like this beauty. Well, she's the beauty of the mummy's world. Officials say that when they discovered her and opened her coffin, she was wearing a gold crown on her head and jewelry as well. And because the lady was not identified, the fact that she was buried in an elite place and gold finery was buried along her determines the rank she belonged to. But there was something strangely unique in her, as the lady was not buried with her original eyes, but they had been replaced by wooden eyes that were carved exactly like real ones. Miniature coffins. While digging up a tomb of an ancient king in Egypt, the archaeologists came across the tiniest coffins, and inside them laid the tiniest mummies of stillborn babies of the king. Though the scientists know that such mutations and stillbirths were common in the ancient world, they were still investigating the fact that these two baby girls were born along with their father. But it was after some time they got to know that being buried along with girls was considered a luck charm, as the ancient people used to believe the girls and women as their protectors that would guide them in their afterlives. Oldest mummy. This 300-year-old mummy was found in the year 2020 and was believed to be something out of this world. Though the corpse was not present in its original form and was distorted from several parts, the researchers consider it a present from the past. The corpse was male with a height of 1.5 meters, covered in several pieces of clothes that were strongly tied with the corpse. The inside of the body looked like it was cremated before burial, but not just a single dead body, but several cremated parts of human bodies were also placed inside the coffin, which made the discovery even more suspicious. Underwater mysteries. Hiding underneath the water, the recent finds in an Egyptian city are not something you would see every day, as they belong to different parts of history. At one side of the Mediterranean Sea, archaeologists found the remains of a 2,200-year-old shipwreck that was struck by the giant blocks of a large temple from the city that had already sunk in the water before. And on the other side, they have also found an ancient burial ground from where different kinds of decorated pottery and gold amulets under the water were believed to be 2,400 years old. An archaeologist, while exploring the Great Pyramids of Egypt, had this strange experience. While going down through a wooden ladder, the man felt a strange movement deep down, so he paused there for a while. And there it was, a wild creature resembling a wolf and containing Satan horns on his head was approaching the archaeologists. Unable to identify it, he quickly ran towards the top, leaving the beast far behind in the tunnel. Though nothing much was revealed by them, it's believed that the tunnel was later filled with mud to secure the researchers from any danger. Let me know what you think of this strange discovery.
I'm gonna come back.
Oh my god.
Forests are beyond trees and wild animals, but a place where dangerous mythical creatures are known to take refuge. From mysterious creatures in the dark to completely unrecognizable forces in broad daylight, these are some of the most disturbing creatures ever to be caught on the trail camera. Skeleton with glowing eyes. Either this is a prison escapee or a good old ghost. A group of young hikers who were out on a camping trip in Casanino National Forest, Arizona. While exploring the forest, they noticed a troubled-looking man sitting beside a narrow stream of water. To get a better look at it, the light was focused on it, to which it reacted by suddenly turning and staring at them. It had a shaved head with a skinny body, almost as if it were a Halloween skeleton. No matter how dark it gets, human eyes do not glow or reflect light, which clearly shows that this was no human, but a skeleton ghost. Glowing-eyed mummy chase. Just by looking at the glowing eyes, you can know this certainly is no hoax. In September 2019, two colleagues were returning from work in their car when a manly figure in the dark started sprinting parallel to them. Seconds later, the ghostly figure closed in towards the light, revealing its final form. It seemed to look like a mummy with glowing eyes and an incredible speed. First, it got closer to them and then attempted to jump into the vehicle when the driver was able to speed away. This certainly could not be a human, but a mummy that may have gotten possessed by a supernatural entity. Ghost attempts to hide. Either this ghost dozed off into the water or it was attempting to hide itself. A trail camera planted on a bridge next to a haunted house captured footage of a ghost that tripped into a small stream. The camera was placed in the area to investigate the cause of disturbance in the area in the dead of night. After reviewing the footage, many believe that this would rather be a cause of a young woman being possessed by a ghost. Flying humanoid. If the furry humanoids weren't spooky enough, you now have one that can fly. Two young boys, while playing in the backyard of a farm in Kent, United Kingdom, noticed a weird-looking hive. With their father filming the video, they got closer to the hive when a flying bug came out of the hive. At first, it was thought to be a firefly or a dragonfly, but seconds later they could notice that this bug is humanoid. From arms to legs, it had a body structure completely similar to that of a human with wings to fly. As it came flying out, the father and the kids reacted by fleeing away. Since the footage has gone viral, many call it a real-life fairy. Forest zombie. This looks to be either a zombie or a clown, or perhaps both. After numerous reports of something haunting a small part of a forest in Ontario, Canada, paranormal investigators decided to investigate. After several hours of searching, they weren't able to find any ghosts, but rather a zombified being that was stalking them from a distance. Upon one of the paranormal investigators spotting this haunting figure, it quickly escaped behind the tree and into the darkness. It had sparkly eyes, clown-like makeup, sharp reflexes, and not to mention huge in size. Imagine the horror of such a nightmare ambushing you. Jungle highway crawler. Choosing a highway to crawler in the middle of a forest is probably the worst place to be around for creeping onto someone. Only a few days ago, a transport driver, while passing through the dense Valdivian temperate rainforest road, came across a naked-looking crawler in the middle of the road. It looked to be quite skinny as a frame of moving skeleton with a very bleak face and hair, although it remained mostly stationary. But according to the driver, it was too eager to get closer. The driver, who turned around for alternate route out of fear of his safety, was criticized by many for not helping a possible man in distress. Sword hand skeleton. Something as scary as this surely redefines the notion of haunting spirits in graveyards. With the appearance of a sharp footstep-like trail all around the cemetery, gravediggers decided to place a trail camera, hoping to find some answers. To their surprise, a disturbing-looking rake being was caught on camera as it was passing by the graves using its sword-like limbs to move. Its body was merely a dark shade of skeleton. While many consider it a rogue ghost, some call it to be a case of reincarnation or a dead man walking. Humpy Ghost. It's probably the hump that may have gotten it not so mobile. A group of friends who were lighting up firecrackers to celebrate the 4th of July when they were interrupted by a high-pitched guttural cry. Curious for answers, they decided to investigate the noise. While passing through the trees, they were abruptly stopped after spotting what looks to be a weird, humpy entity in the dark. Since the idea of getting closer for identification wasn't an option, they decided to lobby a flying firecracker in its direction before running away.
We get out of here.
Many take it to be a case of a drugged-up human, but whatever it was surely is a terrifying sight to behold. Dark Furry Monster. This particular dark furry monster may initially seem like a man wearing a Halloween costume until you look closely at its eyes. Two explorers, while passing through the forest of northern Iran, spotted an eerie hiding behind the bushes. Due to the pitch darkness of the night, they were forced to get closer to it to investigate. While preaching religious chants, they were to get close, but still could barely see it. It had a dirty fur-like coat with incredibly white eyes that were visible. Due to lack of light and fear of the unknown, they weren't able to get a good look at it despite being spitting distance away from it. Tall, furry humanoid. The bigger and furrier it is, the more concerning it gets. After dozens of reports of a tall, furry, human-like figure being noticed in a woods near Winnipeg, a former canine expert was hired by wildlife experts to find and investigate. The canine tracker, after hours of attempting to find the rumored humanoid, was about to call it a day until the notorious being made a sudden appearance as it passed by the tree. The tracker attempted to get a closer look at it, but his dog refused to join into the pursuit, creating a moment of confusion that aided in the humanoid's escape. Fortunately, a camera was installed on the dog harness, which captured the first ever glimpse of this rumored being. Slender Man. In 2018, two friends and a little girl were traveling across states when they bumped into an abnormality, tall and suspicious-looking man referred to as the Slender Man. The Slender Man appeared in the middle of them, making the driver turn off-road and into the grass before stopping. Seconds later, the camera blacked out and started recording once again, showing the Slender Man walking in the woods with the little girl. One of the two friends went missing, while the other was able to find the little girl with a note left behind probably by the Slender Man. Till date, authorities haven't been able to figure out who or where this tall being came from. Creepy cryptid encounter. Is this a bird of some kind or just a horribly looking rodent? While out for an adventure, a tourist encountered a creepy looking animal that was hiding behind a dried up tree trunk in the Appalachian Mountains of North America. Its face looked as if it were deformed with something like a beak on the face. The intentions of this animal were unclear, as it never moved much besides keeping the eyes locked onto the recorder. With the behavior as such, the tourist described it to be an unrecognizable animal that was later pronounced to be a cryptid. Skinwalker attack in woods.
Oh.
If you hear an unsettling humming sound, it's probably for the best to stand clear of it. A man, while driving on the outskirts of Montana, stopped for a cigarette break when he heard a very unsettling humming sound all of a sudden. Out of curiosity, the man entered the woods to find the source of the sound when a skinny, fast-moving skinwalker appeared from nowhere in pursuit of the man, almost as if it were a predator. What happened next remains a mystery. However, the fact that this video made it to the internet shows that the man who recorded the footage may have survived. Alien Scout. The appearance of the UFOs and alien sightings such as these are surely not a mere coincidence. A couple, along with their neighbors, were camping nearby the Big Bear Lake in California when a tiny possum-like being made a sudden appearance, catching them all by surprise. According to the witnesses, it had a physical appearance similar to that of a fictional character, Dobby from the Harry Potter movies, but was a bit too green. As the wildlife experts are trying to make sense of the incident, many debated that this could be an alien scout, especially due to a UFO sighting the previous day. Cryptid caught on camera. Cryptid or not, even they tend to make mistakes and get seen. An explorer, while placing his trail camera in a mountain forest somewhere in the United States, found a mysterious shadowy figure. It was seen curiously peeking out from next to a broad tree trunk and got caught on the camera that was still recording. Although it didn't show any sinister intentions, the cameraman quickly ran away from the area. The fact that the nature of this being is unknown and you never know what it might be capable of, he instinctively decided to run away. The figure remains a complete mystery, despite widespread online exposure. Crooked-faced walker. This is one of those times when something fictional becomes a reality. Residents from a small town in Wisconsin reported numerous appearances of this crooked-faced walker, which has a resemblance to a mythical character called the Spirit Walker. Locals would often wear costumes depicting the walker until it actually started appearing after dark at festivals and community events. So much so that it was locally known as the Spirit of Bizarre. It has a body structure similar to that of a man with extremely long, bony arms, all covered in a suit and a mask. The footage was taken by one of the cameras that was placed to get a closer view at it. Shady Beast. With little to no trees around, the chances of it being a monkey is next to impossible. A footage captured in a woodland area in Nebraska shows a troubled-looking individual that was spotted by passerby as it appeared out from behind the grass. The author of the video at first thought it to be a monkey in distress or an animal of some kind until it got closer and up on its hind, revealing its terrifying face as it began chasing. The recorder described it to have a beastly appearance, which, after video getting viral, was later nicknamed as the Shady Beast. Catching birds for dinner. A simple fact that gorillas are not known to hunt birds is enough to say that this isn't something normal. A video recorded in March 2016 by a fisherman who was returning from a catch shows a huge furry animal on top of a pole. This furry animal was attempting to catch seagulls flying nearby. Upon capturing one of them, it started bashing the seagull aggressively on the pole, presenting its incredible strength, and started eating minutes later. As it was able to climb tall, narrow poles easily, many speculated that it could be a gorilla, but honestly, it seems like a really hungry Bigfoot. Groot-like creature. If Groot has an evil twin, this probably has to be it. A Virginia family of 3 went out for trekking in the nearby forest where they noticed a tall, dark man-like tree that also happened to be staring at them. The parents commented that they felt like being followed by an unknown stalker hours after entering the forest. Coincidentally, they happened to notice the same tree, despite moving for several hours, which raised their suspicion. Interestingly, the tree creature didn't seem to have any footsteps left behind and remained stationary until it was seen moving slowly. Could it be that a tree somehow came to life, or is it an outer Earth visitor? Giant Tarzan. A sighting such as this is probably a dream come true for all the Tarzan fans. A construction worker in Minnesota, while on a break, saw that this very tall man, who was caught by the magnificence of modern construction, it looked almost naked, covered only by a dark piece of clothing with a height twice to that of an average person. As one of the construction workers riding on his bicycle passed by that point, this real-life Tarzan suddenly disappeared. Since the footage was taken from quite a distance, the tall man wasn't identified properly. Caned Ghost Yoda. Facing off a pissed Yoda is more dangerous than all other scary creatures in the dark. A cowboy on a horse was passing through woods while looking at some missing cattle, bumped into a tiny being having similarity to that of a Yoda from Star Wars. This Yoda, resembling a ghost, was running towards the cowboy while aggressively stabbing its sharp cane on the ground. It began to gain pace upon closing in, and due to the fear of the unknown, the man responded by fleeing. While the actual intentions of the caned ghost Yoda may remain a mystery, it definitely couldn't be any good. Aggressive Yeti. What could be scarier than being killed by a Yeti? It's having one to trip and fall onto you. In January 2021, two friends out on a 3-day hiking adventure came across some way scarier than your typical wild animal, a Yeti. The Yeti appeared out of nowhere and started inspecting their backpacks when they returned back to their base camp with firewood. During the unwarranted inspection, the Yeti unknowingly pepper sprayed itself in the eyes. It began to panic aggressively. It got so aggressive that it nearly fell on the hikers before stumbling down the hilly terrain. Bigfoot with glowing eyes. Maybe this Bigfoot was just showing off its sparkling eyes. A TikToker, while out in the Canadian woods for a video, had a close call with this giant gorilla-like creature with exceptionally bright eyes. At first, it was thought of being some gorilla, until after it came closer while passing by. Being caught in fear and confusion, he decided to film the incident. To get answers, the video was uploaded on social media, where many called it a Bigfoot, and that this might be the closest ever encounter with one of them. The TikToker definitely was fortunate enough that the Bigfoot didn't display any predatory behavior. Naked man. A hunter, while passing past a forest nearby Tomorrow World area, when he heard someone calling at him for help. Upon looking down, he noticed a man with not a stitch of clothing on him standing by the creek along with a walking cane. While maintaining distance, the naked man claimed that he had been robbed, beaten up, and stripped of all clothing by bullies during the music festival before being dropped in the woods. After days of trying to survive, he decided to stick next to the creek. The hunter managed to get a number of the naked man's next of kin to get in touch so they could come and get him. This picture was captured by a lost traveler who was passing through a forest in New Zealand on June 10, 2021. The traveler, while stopping to rest for the night, was disturbed by a terrifying zombie-like cry not too far from his location. In hopes to offer help, he called closer to the source of the sound, only to find its point of origin from something that looked unlike any known human. Seconds after the encounter, the traveler immediately decided to flee for his life. After several minutes of running away, the recorder hid himself under a tree bark and decided to remain stationary till dawn, leaving having this picture, the only clear view of this being. Paranormal creature climbing. Something so dark and tiny as this rules out the possibility of it being a burglar. A security camera placed opposite to a villa in a rural area of Karnataka, India, shows a black child-sized creature that crawls next to the villa until it starts climbing up. Locals believe it to be the spirit of a young child that once lived in the house to be returning, while others believe it to be a djinn. Whatever this may have been, it was surely sneaky enough to get past the guard that was sleeping in a chair facing right in front of this paranormal being. Dead alienoid. Alien or not, death surely doesn't spare anyone. Texas farmers who had lost several of their chickens due to numerous animal attacks decided to lay down a bait to draw out the animal. Upon doing so, they noticed a very unusual looking animal in the fields who took the bait in a manner similar to the attack on the chickens. One of the farmers, either pissed or terrified of this alienoid, fired at it, but it managed to escape. After following the bloody trail closely, the alien animal was later found dead next to a tiny bush after having bled out due to the critical wound.
See him above there, by the trees.
With the proliferation of cameras just about everywhere, more and more weird stuff is captured by the camera's all-seeing lens. From freaky, wild creatures of dark nights to the oddly mythical figures of woods, while others are totally unbelievable. Here's the most disturbing trail cam footage that no one was supposed to see. Disappearing man. Imagine installing a camera to capture some wild moments on a snowy night, but you come across this. A bizarre hunched-over figure with glowing eyes suddenly emerged from the dark and could be seen running to the left side of the ground, and then disappeared instantly. Nowhere. It might have merged into thin air. Was it really a ghoul captured running at midnight, or was it just a hoax? To me, there was something really mysterious, as the dog sitting in the corner could be noticed turning its head in the direction of the running figure. What do you guys think? Extraterrestrial creature. Deer, coyotes, or naughty raccoons. This is all that you expect to see in your trail cam footage. But a trail cam installed in the woods of Australia captured something absolutely terrifying. From behind one of the trees appeared some mysterious lights. However, the zoomed-in footage displayed the mystifying lights were actually the eyes of an odd-shaped creature that was trying to peek directly into the camera. At first, it might look like a kid in a costume, but the weird glowing eyes didn't seem like a humanoid trait. Then, was that something really that we should call an extraterrestrial, or just another unidentified creature? Share your thoughts by commenting below. Monster stalking a moose. This video, posted in August 2018, sent cold chills among internet users, as it displays a strange creature peeking from behind one of the trees in the middle of a haunted forest. The resource person of this clip claimed to witness this monstrous creature many times before that, and called it a rake because it has a human-like appearance and usually attacks people walking alone in the woods. But this time, it looks like the spooky, pale creature has targeted the huge moose, as it was filmed stalking the animal that was busy grazing in that haunted forest. Masked man. The hunters set their cameras to get information about animals they can hunt. However, sometimes their search for a new species could end up in an unexplainable fear. A trail cam footage posted a few months back shows a strange figure coming out of the dense forest. It is really hard to state what that creature might be, but as it walked eerily with its bent legs, and also the face was covered with a strange mask, some people thought it could be a publicity stunt. But everything about this image is terrifying, as we have no idea where this figure came from or why he was wandering on his knees at midnight. Bigfoot under the nest. In September 2016, a trail cam installed somewhere in the woods of Michigan State to film tiny eaglets captured something really spooky. Initially, all went well, as the camera placed right above the nest was filming the adorable bird moments. Then, suddenly, from behind one of the trees below the nest, appeared a black bipedal creature that walked away. However, due to the blurred image, it's hard to identify the creature, but many people stated that it was a Bigfoot, as nothing huge and bulky was ever spotted in that area before. Do you guys also think it was a Bigfoot? Please let us know by commenting below. Peeking alien. Watching this clip will surely prevent you from planning late-night camping, especially in the middle of the spooky forest. While burning a fire to keep the wild critters away from their tents, a group of friends heard some mysterious noise in the dark. Thinking of any forest resident, one of the guys tossed the fire in front of the tree, yet he was not expecting to come across this. A tiny, gray cryptid with pointed fingers was trying to get warmth while hiding behind the tree, and quickly moved back as the man filming it tried to get a closer look. Unfortunately, nothing could be stated exactly about the figure, but to me, it looked like an alien. Weird man in the forest. Let me show you another disturbing clip of the day, as it involves a couple of friends who stumbled upon something really spooky while walking in the forest at night. Standing alone in the middle of the path was a strange guy in white who started to communicate with them.
Ryan?
Is that you?
Yeah, it is.
Prove it?
Prove it?
Yeah, prove it.
Thinking of their lost friend, when one of the guys asked that boy to prove his identity, he suddenly changed his shape and voice and vanished back into the dark, just like a creepy ghoul.
I don't know where this thing is, or when it's gonna...
Although one of the guys tried to chase him, they couldn't get any other clue. And since that time, the truth behind the creepy guy has become an unsolved mystery. Unknown beast in the backyard. Filmed at an unknown location, the camera captured a bizarre figure peeking from behind the wall on the side of the pool. Initially, it looked like a man trying to get inside, but when the footage was zoomed in, it started looking less like a human. In fact, the way it looked around and managed to jump back didn't seem human at all. Many claimed it could be a midnight ghost, while others simply stated that it was nothing but a bear. Well, if any of you know better, do write us in the comment section. Humo crab. While enjoying the bonfire in the middle of the thick woods, a group of friends got the biggest shock of their life when they decided to look for the girl who went away to make a call. Searching around for the girl, they were stunned to find her lying numb in front of a tree, and then suddenly, from behind one of the bushes, a creepy creature jumped out. With multiple limbs attached to a human body, that unidentified being seemed to be a human crab-type creature. Although this clip stopped without any proper ending, these few terrifying minutes are enough to make you think twice the next time you set up a plan for camping. Bigfoot encounter. It's okay to find animals in the woods, but it's definitely not okay to find monstrous creatures right in front of the camera. While chasing a deer to get a closer look, another couple of campers were shocked to find a huge beast behind the trees. At first, they took it as a bear, but it was all until the dark creature stood up. With its dark body and giant features, it looked right at them and tried to get close. Fortunately, they both managed to escape, leaving their tent. In fact, everything behind. Many speculated it to be a huge bear, but according to those guys, it was an actual Bigfoot. Cryptic being. According to an old saying, forests are actually haunted by werewolves and witches that come out at night. But this time, it looks like one of the evil spirits has decided to make an appearance in daytime. Filmed at an unknown location, this video shows a car being driven in the middle of a forest, and suddenly, the driver noticed a strange, small creature standing on the roadside. Apparently, it looked like a small animal, but upon getting closer, it turned out to be a short, faceless figure who was busy in some kind of sinister activity, but suddenly ran back after watching a car approaching it. Is it really a cryptic being, or just a hoax? Any ideas? Sasquatch spotted in Russia. This short clip of just 16 seconds includes the craziest moment no one could have ever seen. Recorded by an unknown source somewhere in Russia in 2011, this clip shows a closer look of the most discussed mythical beast. A huge hairy body and long arms, it really looked like a real Sasquatch. No more details could be stated about the creature, as the guy filming it seemed to be scared of the thing. Yet the perfect humanoid walk pointed toward the legendary Sasquatch, as it could be seen quickly walking through the woods after realizing it was being filmed. Unidentified hairy monster. Exploring the woods to learn more about the forest, two young students felt some movements behind the trees. Looking deeper into the bushes, they came across an unidentified creature that initially looked like a wild critter that was hiding beneath the woods, yet suddenly stood up and stared at the curious visitors. Terrifying is all that can be said about this footage, because nothing much could be explained about the creature, as they had to escape hurriedly after watching the beast heading toward them. Eerie giant figure. Humanoid walk, giant body, and long, heavy arms. Another legendary creature of all time was filmed strolling fearlessly on snowy ground. The video, after being posted, grabbed a lot of attention from internet users, as many took it as an alleged Sasquatch sighting. But since the video wasn't very clear, a few claimed it was actually a guy struggling to hike on the hill covered with snow and was misunderstood for his strange walk. Really a Sasquatch or just a misunderstanding? Any guesses from your side? Spooky werewolf. Have you ever been into the woods alone? Well, if not, then you must hold your breath, as this short clip will definitely stop you from doing so. Filmed at an undisclosed location, this footage shows a guy trying to get close to an animal to whom he thought was a grizzly bear. Right at that moment, the beast started running toward him, and the video suddenly ended there, leaving everyone questioning about the beast. There is a possibility of a werewolf sighting, as upon looking at the huge appearance, the creature didn't seem like a bear to me. Creepy skinwalker. It's not always Bigfoot lurking from behind one of the trees, but sometimes there are many other odd beings waiting for us. A couple, while driving in the middle of a forest, decided to stop their car to investigate the animal making weird noises. However, they were left baffled after watching this. From behind one of the bushes, a creepy figure emerged and crossed the bushy path by crawling on its bent legs. Although it was not visible due to the dark, due to its pale, skinny body, it was assumed to be a skinwalker that mostly came out at night to spook the passerby. Mysterious black shadow. Almost a decade back in April, a man filming his own horror movie set up a prop ritual circle in Tennessee's woods. The next day, after returning back to that place, he found a mysterious dark figure standing exactly at that spot. At first, he thought it was some kind of an illusion, but suddenly, the figure that appeared to have a head and body moved slightly back and forth. He just filmed the peculiar shape from a distance and decided to leave as he was scared of the unknown figure. For some, it was a person with a costume on, while others just debunked it by calling it a fallen tree that resembled a human body. If any of you know more details about it, please let us know. Rake crawling in woods. A bizarre trail cam footage quickly went viral as it claimed to show an eerie figure in the middle of the woods. Recorded somewhere in an unrevealed place, the video took a normal start, but then the actual oddity entered the frame from the left side. Crawling on all its fours was an eerie creature that could be seen rambling through the woods, just like a huge, bulky animal. However, the way it stopped and looked around didn't match any animal's traits. Since the footage was recorded from a distance, it's hard to say exactly what could be the creature, but many are speculating it to be the horrific, urban, legendary Rake. Frozen in park. A lady standing still in front of a tree, and another group of people froze while staring oddly. This is not any clip from a sci-fi movie, but this bizarre moment was actually recorded in September 2019 by a family while they were heading toward Niagara Falls. Not just one or two, but a large number of people were spotted standing still around all over the place. What's weirder, more than half were old-aged. With a heart filled with fear, the family left shortly, so nothing more could be stated about it. A glitch in the Matrix, an MK Ultra, or just some kind of publicity stunt to gain fame? I'm not too sure what was actually going on here. Soul left wild boar. This footage might be the rarest one, as it literally shows the most unbelievable and disturbing moment ever recorded. It started with a wild boar strolling normally, and this is exactly what trail cams are meant to record. But within a few seconds, the whole scene changed as the animal falls on the ground and struggled hard to stand back up. And all of a sudden, its body started shivering, and it could be seen shaking its legs, followed by a plume of black smoke that mysteriously arose from its body. And then it became still, although it could be noticed trying to breathe. According to the owner of this footage, the animal was found dead in its place. Headless moose. Another disturbing piece of footage shows a strange animal that was not only weird and frightening, but also very fast. Near a railway track in the middle of the wilderness, a guy was scared to death after watching a strange moose running wildly without any head on its huge body. Since the video is quite blurry, it's difficult to say whether it was an actual headless animal or just a moose running with its head to one side. Many think it's just an edited clip, while others claim it to be an actual headless moose that was running away from its hunters. What do you guys believe? Arrow stuck in deer's head. Survival of an impaired one in the wilderness is actually very challenging, yet this next clip shows an unfazed deer with an arrow sticking out of its head that was observed doing really well for more than 3 years. The deer was named Carrot after it was spotted lurking in the backyard of a house in Canada and was believed to be a miraculous survivor. Fortunately, the distressing clips of the poor animal hit the internet, and it was soon rescued by wildlife authorities. Two-headed deer.
Two-headed deer.
Have we got you puzzled? At first, I also got confused after watching this bizarre two-headed deer. Look how perfectly both of the heads moved in the same direction. Was this actually a two-headed deer, or just another manipulated clip? Well, after watching this clip more carefully, I reached to a conclusion that those were actually two animals standing in a typical posture, which made them look like one animal with two heads. As the video proceeded, one of the heads could be seen mystically disappearing from the scene, leaving just one complete deer behind. What do you guys say? Deer with a crooked neck. Here we have another strange deer, but this time it was not any optical illusion. But in fact, this deer was actually spotted in an awkward situation, as its head was hanging bizarrely to one side. Though it was observed perfectly walking through the dense bushes, it was unable to lift its head or to move it around. Biologists suspected that it might have broken its spine at a very young age, but somehow managed to survive with its major disability, and was spotted strolling several times in St. Mary's. People called it a crooked-necked deer that was also believed to be a mother of cute little fawns. Living mammoth. Show me something more disturbing than this one. Long, curved tusks, a huge trunk, a fatty hump on a massive woolly body. All these features belong to a living mammoth that was filmed in 1948 in Russia. The great animal from the prehistoric times was actually seen roaming almost 60 years back and was captured during World War II by a German photographer. Although it was quite terrifying to see a living mammoth from the past, many claimed it to be a fake one, while a few are still trying to figure it out. Attacked by wolves. This trail cam footage opens with an adorable moose mother wandering around along with its young calf. Initially, all went well, as the mother moose could be seen protecting its young calf from the wolf. But then suddenly, the video took a horrific turn when the mother turned back and, instead of the wolf, it accidentally kicked its calf in the head. Seeing the calf on the ground, another hungry wolf jumped in to get a bite of the fallen prey. Yet the moose mother kept on protecting its calf from the attacking wolves. However, it's impossible to say whether she was able to protect her young ones or not, as all of the animals went out of sight. Man stalked by lion. Encountering something like this in the woods is definitely a disturbing thing you'll never want to experience. The guy in the image looked excited as he could be seen enjoying his hunt of the day, a giant deer. And behind him is a ferocious predator that was captured stalking the hunter. Unfortunately, we could only get this single image, and I'm not sure if the lion was actually waiting for the deer, or its real target was the hunter. However, later this guy posted another video in which the same lion was observed chasing. This terrifying image was captured by a trail camera, showing a creepy humanoid creature climbing a tree with all 4 of its limbs. The exact location of this image is unknown, but some people claimed it to be captured from the deep Amazon forest, where this guy is believed to be the last remaining member of an isolated tribe in the Brazilian Amazon, and is known as the Man of the Hole. However, according to some, this was actually an ape-like creature that was seen hanging on the trees during the Darrow expedition in 1977. Well, if any of you knows more about it, please let us know by commenting below. Thank you very much for watching the video. do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again